Law enforcement officers risk their lives every day. Most of those stories go untold.
Shots fired! 10-1! 10-1!
Until now. I'm CJ Hutter.
I'm Tanner Brandon-Marty.
And we're on patrol from the NAPO Top Cops Awards. Thank you for joining us for another episode of On Patrol with the Suffolk PBA. I'm CJ Hutter, the treasurer of the PBA.
I'm Tanner Brandon-Marty, the sergeant of the PBA.
And today we're excited to record from the NAPO Top Cop Awards in Washington, D.C. And we've spoken many times about the NAPO Top Cop Awards, and we refer to it as basically the Academy Awards of police work for the year.
It really is a great night. This is my third or fourth time coming here. Really, the stories you hear, the cops saving lives, risking their own lives. You've even heard of officers falling in some of the stories. It really is a touching event, and we're glad we're able to share it with you. So enjoy this show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So now we're excited to be here at the Top Cop Awards in Washington, D.C. with the president of NAPO, Mick McHale. Mick, thanks for having us here. Thank you for allowing us to highlight the Top Cop Awards here and get the messaging out of all the heroic actions that these cops are doing.
Well, in all truth and honesty, thank you for being here, because you're assisting us with your program of getting this message out nationwide. This is our 33rd year of posting top cops and recognizing the men and women of our great profession nationwide, and in some instances internationally. So for me to have the honor to be on your podcast, to be able once again to spread the word of NAPO is truly an honor, and thank you. Thank you both for your commitment and your association, all you do for our profession. And I'm hoping as a result of tonight's presentation that more and more of our brothers and sisters nationwide realize how much they are appreciated, how much they're loved, and how much the public truly, truly supports them. You know, when you listen to the rhetoric that takes place nationally, depending upon the state or area you live in, sometimes it could make you second guess, why am I putting the uniform on today?
Right.
The reality is America needs you. We need you. And again, your program, your podcast, your ability to touch far greater lives than we can by publication it's a great partnership, and I'm glad we are working together.
Yeah, well, Mick, I appreciate you coming on again. As you touched on, you first appeared on our show at a PCNY conference up in upstate New York.
Yes.
And when you came on the show, we were able to highlight a little bit about NAPO and the work you guys do outside of the Top Cop Awards, right? You're out there lobbying, looking for national law changes to help police officers do our jobs more effectively and keep Americans safe.
And thank you. Yeah, and that's why NAPO was established. As I've said before, we were established in 1978. And the whole reason for establishing our association is all of the unions throughout the nation could come together as one with a solid common voice to the elected officials of the realities of the pitfalls and dangers of our profession, also to lobby benefits. And through the years, there are a laundry list of bills that we have successfully been able to get over the threshold. And we're continuing to advocate to include, most recently, we have bills that pertain to when someone intentionally either permanently or assaults, in the worst case scenario, kills an officer simply for them wearing the uniform, the badge, the star. Don't want to be disrespectful to anyone's shield, that those individuals under the federal law will be subject to the death penalty, which we believe firmly is what they deserve.
That's
And
great.
again, we have too many. Tonight, we're going to honor top cop cases that have been presented. And tragically, as that has taken place in years past, we have lost officers in some of those cases that we have highlighted. We lost 111 of our brothers and sisters last year. 111. As of today, there are over 27,000 names on our memorial wall. So there'll be over 350 names read tomorrow evening at the candlelight vigil. And again, it's a realistic reminder, because as you and I and others in our profession walk the streets of DC, go to these different monuments, we go and we visit like tourists, we're constantly reminded by the identification placards that these four individuals wear with pride that their loved one paid the ultimate sacrifice. And we have to be true to our word. We often say the same message. We will never forget. Well, that's what we need to do. We need to pick that phone up 6 months later, 7 months. We have to have that constant contact. Events like tonight, we're going to have survivors, spouses who have whose loved ones were previously recognized because of the year before service to our country. And again, we pride ourselves on that, because it's a chance for those individuals to be in a room tonight. And it's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And we often get the permission, without a doubt. We get the permission. We would never exploit the pain and suffering that they experience. But it's what's great about this as well is many of our presenters are movie actors or television actors. Blue Bloods. I don't want to be disrespectful, but Blue Bloods seems to be a lot of the cast participate. They're here every year. Jeremy Ratchford, who is a guy that maybe 2 or 3 times hasn't played a cop, but over 20 years volunteering his time, emceeing our event. And the survivors and the recipients, they're blown away. And they can't believe that these men and women that they see on the Friday night shows or Saturday, or now, through Netflix and others, wow, they really are, they're here, they're presenting me. The flip side of that, and I'm going to tell a tale out of school, the flip side of that, there's not one presenter tonight, not one, who hasn't cried to me personally of emotion when they see the reality, and they say it all the time. We play a character on TV. We have somebody that's an advisor, someone who is a retired, in most cases, law enforcement, that advises the writers, the producers, us as actors. But when they're amongst us, which they will be again tonight, it's a truly humbling experience, and that's a part of the love that they share, but more importantly, they contribute back to us. So, it's a win-win scenario. But again, I can't say enough. We have not received the recognition. And what I mean by that is the message being sent out. And I'm hoping, but I'm not hoping, I know our affiliation, that message is going to get out, and then we'll have more and more people not only supporting, but paying attention to the reality of what goes on.
Right.
And as you know, the rest of this week, on the 14th, the NAPO leaders from out the nation, we will all en masse go to the Capitol. We'll go to Capitol Hill, and we'll be lobbying priority legislation. And it means the world, as I said to you in our last interview, when I walk into the room and I have the president of the Suffolk County Association or Nassau County, NYPD, all of the groups that we represent, when their president, elected officials, or designees of that organization walks in the room with us, they pay attention.
Right.
Because see, back home, they're coming to you, they're coming to your board,
Right.
and everybody wants to be endorsed by the police associations, right? Everybody's the law and order candidate. Then they get here in Washington, D.C., and you see their votes change, their position change. So again, it's a help situation. Yes, you help them get elected back home, but we have a somewhat of a relationship, whereas we could truly ensure that not only are they fulfilling the promises they made to you, but they're helping support us to fulfill the promise of our profession nationwide.
Right. And I think holding elected officials accountable for how they vote and the policies that they try to push is important for the constituents back home.
There's no doubt. And I think another misunderstanding of the constituents, we had the proverbial football, the threat of qualified immunity.
Right.
What the most of the American public don't realize, those same politicians have absolute immunity.
Right.
And think about
They don't have to qualify for it.
No, and think about it.
It's a guarantee.
When we watch congressional hearings, which seems to be a lot lately, never do you see the panel sworn under oath.
Mm-hmm.
There's not anything we do in our profession where we're not under oath. Right? Whether we're the subject of a accusation, the subject of misconduct, or we're someone that's doing our job and putting somebody away who justifiably deserves it. We are always under oath.
Every time we sign a document.
We're under oath. So I think that's something we hold with great pride. And I know the camera may not show it, but there's a room full of individuals, whereas we would be elbowing each other to be the first to put handcuffs on the dirty cop. And that's where, for me personally, Mick McHale, it's truly an honor to be amongst people like yourself, your association, that we could be shoulder to shoulder, lockstep, to ensure only the best of the best are in our profession, and in return, our commitment to make their lives better is what we fulfill.
And that unifying voice is very important. And you bring us all together, and we're stronger together than we are apart.
There's no doubt. And I think in the time that we spend together, we sit around, we have a conversation, a cup of coffee, we go to a meeting. We all share in the same problems.
Right.
We all share the same challenges, right? First time that there's a financial issue, the cops are overpaid and it's overpriced. But we still go to work, and there's nothing better example than when the federal government shut down, the law enforcement went to work without even getting paid.
Right.
So you're right. When we could sit, we could communicate with one another, and we could actively be together. It makes us a stronger being united than someone trying to accomplish something individually.
Yeah, strength in numbers means a lot. It's how we could get things done and accomplish the changes we need to see in America today. So, Mick, we appreciate everything you do for all the cops throughout the country. We appreciate the presentation you put on tonight, the top cops, and honoring these heroes out there that deserve to be recognized.
And I've said it all the time, and it's not because it's a canned phrase of me. I've always said it. I'm truly honored and blessed to be the elected president, which gives me the platform as a spokesperson. But more importantly, there's not a day that goes by that this is not a team effort. The day that you make it about yourself and you, I, me, and again, my humble opinion, then you've lost that edge. Because it should never be about you. It should be about you going to the individuals and saying to them, please trust in me that your best interest will always be what I put forward. And I'm honored by that.
Yeah, that team spirit and that team mentality, that means a lot. So, Mick, thank you for everything.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And once again, to everybody watching, thank you. We got your backs. It's not just a saying, it's a fact. Thank you, and God bless you.
Put your hands together as we bring Michael Mick McHale.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, and what a gratifying feel it is to be here once again with each and every one of you in our nation's capital. Tonight, Top Cops is 33 years old, about 3 years older than I am. All right, ain't that funny? We began in 1994 having the Top Cop event before anyone with a cell phone or a social media account tried to do our jobs for us, second guess every action that we take, or told us, which we hear all the time, what's right and what's wrong. But tonight we got some true blue heroes, some who experienced veterans, others, believe it or not, you'll see tonight, are rookies on the force. And it's not only what you do on the job that we recognize, but what you do off the job as well. We know your Little League coaches, your big brothers, your big sisters, your PTA members, your volunteers in your church, your community. Ladies and gentlemen, you're human beings. You give back to the community. We know that, and we appreciate each and every one of you for the courage that you have being committed to our fine profession. Seated at these tables tonight are police officers, sheriff's deputies, federal agents from all across the country. And I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, please, please, please meet as many of your brothers and sisters in blue, green, brown as possibly you can. That's because we're all a family here. And what holds us all together is so much more and so much stronger than what tears us apart. Right now, I'd like the spouses, the brothers, the sisters, the kids, the in-laws, and especially the parents of those who are being recognized and honored tonight. Would you all please take the time now and please stand. You're our guiding light. You're the ones that truly believe in what it is that we do. And I got to tell you, we cannot make it through the darkness alone. We love and appreciate all that it is and all the support that allows us to go out there, perform our duties, and in some horrific scenarios that we experience, lose our lives for people we've never met and don't even know. But the ability to come home to you, to know that we're loved, to know that we're supported, is what gives us the ability to put on that uniform, to put on that badge, to put on that gun, and perform the duties that we took an oath. We raised our hand and we took an oath. And I'm here to tell you that means something. And in 2026, we're still performing the duties that we promised and we swore an oath to do. So again, for those who are our backbone, our true supporters, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank each and every one of you. God bless you all. All right, so this is the part where my physical being is going to be threatened, so I need some fast runners to come up here and bail me out. But at NAPO, one of our guiding lights is getting ready to retire. And we could not let her leave here without honoring her tonight. Always understated, but never underappreciated, our diligent and dedicated accountant, Colette Pastorino, the granddaughter of an NYPD officer. She has been a member of the NAPO family for more than 17 years and will be dearly missed, especially by those of us that forget to send in the receipts. But Colette, would you please come up onto the stage for your well-earned, well-deserved recognition. God bless you. If I could have the elected officers join me on stage, please.
I'd like to say a few words. No, I'm just saying, thank you so much. It's been a great 17 years. As I told Bill recently, 17 years ago, my husband said, you need to go back to work. And I was like, I looked for a job, lucky enough to find NAPO. My grandfather was a New York City police officer, so came full circle, and it's been a great run, and I'm gonna miss everybody at work, but I'm ready. And thank you, everybody. It's been an honor to work for NAPO. Very much an honor.
And as most of you who are part of an organization that represents law enforcement could appreciate, Colette's the reason why the guys and girls with the letters on the back of the jackets aren't here to take us away, but she's done a great job for us. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night is one of the emotional highlights of Police Week, the annual candlelight vigil at the police memorial. There, carved in stone, are 15 words that say so much more. It is not how these officers died that made them heroes, it's how they lived. Tonight we celebrate those meaningful words with every top cop, every honorable mention, and every nominee that we are going to have the honor and privilege of bringing up on the stage this evening. As we approach America's 250th birthday in less than 2 months, we can't forget that more than 27,000 officers have lost their lives in the line of duty since we became a nation. And 2025 was another violent year, unfortunately. We lost 111 officers that had their end of watch during 2025. Their average length of service, time on the job, was nearly 14 years. In addition, there were 29 canines that were tragically taken and paid the ultimate sacrifice in 2025 as well. And while these portraits and courage you're about to see may only be up there for a few seconds, their memories will remain in our hearts forever.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth.
Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emmenheiser. They confronted some of the most evil human behaviors imaginable. And not only did they face those challenges, they did so while holding fast to faith, compassion, and uncompromising honor.
You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears
like this that we're reminded just how truly fleeting and fragile life can be.
There will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find the way. Then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. When you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you.
What a remarkable group of men, women, and canines who put their lives on the line for the communities in which they serve. And now, nowhere has a commitment to community been more apparent than what happened early last year in Southern California. These images that you'll see from Los Angeles County are nothing less than catastrophic. In January of 2026, as the Eaton and Palisade fires tore through LA County, devastation and chaos spread across neighborhoods with terrifying speed. More than 200,000 people were forced to evacuate, and tragically, 31 people lost their lives. But in face of choking smoke, deadly flames, deputies and police officers from Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and the Los Angeles Police Department put their lives on the line to save the lives of and homes of countless citizens. Many worked 7 days straight, often in 24-hour shifts. In moments where every second counted, these brave men and women embodied duty, courage, and compassion. And while this was going on, ladies and gentlemen, 19 LAPD officers and 6 sheriff's deputies knew as they were doing their jobs, as they were fulfilling their commitment, their own homes were going up in flames. Our friends from the LA County Sheriff's Department and the LAPD give a firsthand account of how the members of their departments rose to the challenge. Please watch.
The flames are leaving a path of destruction and stretching resources thin.
The Eden fire started around 6:30 p.m. It has quickly exploded into more than 200 acres, and it keeps growing. People living on these streets, they have to leave immediately. As you can see, this is a fast-moving fire.
The heat was getting very extreme.
As the day went on, it became 10 a.m. and we still couldn't see the sun. It was just covered in smoke. Downtown was in flames. It just looked like a war had happened in Altadena.
Sheriff's deputies are almost always the first on scene to do evacuations in this case, render medical aid and other assistance as needed. You know, when you call 911, your phone doesn't know why you're calling. These guys that are rushing into these situations to save people, what they're rushing into is really an unknown level of danger.
Throughout the day, we didn't know if we were gonna go somewhere where we were gonna be trapped, what's gonna collapse. Because if a call comes out, we're gonna go, and there were several times where we felt if we didn't have a backup plan, like we may not come out of this alive.
We're just getting word here that the LAPD has gone on tactical alert.
Members of this department, both sworn and civilian, demonstrated exemplary commitment to duty. Many worked long hours without rest. Some continued serving even as they learned their own homes had been lost to the fires.
With how fast this thing was moving, it was going to be a big thing on just preserving life.
Man, we gotta go. Man, we gotta go. Man, get out, let's go.
The area that we evacuated is anywhere from 30 to 50,000 people. And we just did it that first initial night, kicking down doors and trying to save lives.
Police department, evacuate immediately.
There was fires burning near the horse, and it was obvious that the horse was frightened. In my time in the unit, it was one of the harder rescues that we've ever done.
I'm gonna say if I open the gate.
His 2-year-old was at their residence with a babysitter and wasn't able to get a hold of the babysitter. Having kids myself, I could only imagine how helpless he felt at the time. So I dedicated a set of officers to figure out what his address was, to see where that affected area was at. At some point after an hour or two, I saw a couple officers coming back down with a babysitter and a baby and reuniting that family. And it was one of the best things you could ever see.
We got a radio call saying the Montecito Senior Center needed to be evacuated. It's a 4-story senior living home with over 250 people in it. A lot of people are bedridden. They're in wheelchairs. A lot of people have dementia or Alzheimer's. First thing that came to mind was, how do we get these people out? At that point, it was surrounded by fire. So I went in there and I pulled the fire alarm. We had to get some people up without us having to knock on the doors. And then it was just door to door, banging on doors, kicking in doors.
Sheriff's Department, anybody inside?
The senior center is just one of the stories. There were a number of care centers that were evacuated and a number of homes where people are disabled and they're unable to move on their own. So the deputies were staying in place with those people at their homes until an ambulance arrived.
Each of those and everybody we represent who's out in the field all have families. Many are impacted directly by the fire, but they leave those families to come and try and be able to help everybody else who's out there. So I owe a debt of gratitude to everybody who is putting it all on the line for everyone else.
So during the fires, the Altadena station had to be evacuated.
It was to the point where the fires were at our door, and I mean the front lobby of the station.
Embers were dropping like bombs all around the station. The winds were howling.
This is normally where we dispatch out of all that had to be done from mobile command centers. And of course, there's the emotional aspect of it too, right? Where this is like their home away from home and that they're watching literally go up in smoke.
It's something that I don't think any other deputies have ever experienced, having to possibly say goodbye to the station. When you sit down and think about it, you can still get pretty emotional about it.
Luckily and gratefully, the station sustained itself. I think it represents kind of the resilience and the fighting attitude that we have. Sometimes in our department, we work with very little resources, but this critical incident proved that we rise to the occasion.
They're all heroes.
That piece truly redefines the phrase, courage under fire. And the Altadena Sheriff's Station, built just after World War II, symbolized how resilient these officers and deputies were that horrible week back in January. Ladies and gentlemen, because it would be impossible to single out every officer and every deputy who served during these fires and during these critical times, NAPO is presenting two special group awards. One to the LAPD and the other to the Los Angeles Police Protective League and to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and the Association for Los Angeles Deputy Sheriffs. To accept these special awards tonight, I am honored to welcome to the stage from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department 4 deputies who were there throughout the ordeal. Andrew Garza, Greg Gibbons, Jason Gonzalez, and Jeff Lohman. And from the LAPD, 3 officers who also exemplified heroism and undying commitment to doing all they possibly could, Sergeant Glenn Adams, Officers Brian Espin, and Adam Margin.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Los Angeles Police Department, I want to thank you all. And for what we went through, a night I never want to go through again. God bless you all. And for all the heroes out there, thank you so much. And for our fallen brothers and sisters, may they rest in peace. God bless you.
First, just want to say thank you to everybody. The fact that we all made it out there alive and not burned is, we got to thank God for that. I know me personally, I can probably speak for the majority of my partners. We all said bye to our families at least once that night. But other than that, we stuck it through. We found the love in our brothership and our brothers and our sisters, and we just pushed each other and we made it through the night. And for that, we thank each other, and just want to say thank you for everything.
You know, throughout the nation, sometimes there's a rub. Sometimes there's a little bit of competitiveness in the professions. But what you saw there is a true example that although we're not trained as professional firefighters, we don't possess the equipment that is needed and warranted. Many times, the first responders to a fire, that being a structural fire, the horrific fire that we saw, the first responders oftentimes are deputies, police officers, those of us in the uniforms. But at the end of the day, we work hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, to hopefully save lives, and more important, make changes in lives. So, you know, it's truly an honor to have an opportunity to recognize those individuals that were just up here, and I know they're going to go home and share our well wishes and our good feelings towards them with the rest of their brothers and sisters. So again, a great job by all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to our host for this evening. He's been a tireless supporter of NAPO and law enforcement for more than 20 years. As for his acclaimed acting, his portrayal of Detective Nick Vera on the hit CBS drama Cold Case earns him new fans and reruns. And he's played detectives in everything from NCIS to FBI, while also garnering laughs and guest starring roles from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to Ted. And yes, excuse my language, he played a badass a couple of times in shows and was very convincing. I'd like you to join me in welcoming not only a dear friend, but a brother, an extended family member of NAPO, and a great, great supporter of our great profession. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, Mr. Jeremy Ratchford.
So I was having a conversation over here. So I'd like to point out Jeff Sessions opened the show. Bill Barr opened the show. Pam Bondi opened the show. And Vice President Biden opened the show. We've all seen what happened. Is it me? Am I? Huh. I like to keep it light because it's going to get intense. But I'd like to point out how I had the flu in January. And I was on the couch for 3 days. I put on YouTube and found a video about an owl and a kitten being frozen and then thawed out, and they became best friends. And I saw another one of a Rottweiler that rescued what he thought was a cat, but it ended up being a puma, and they became best friends. And suddenly in this algorithm, watching these little adorable animal stories, the feed comes up, it says, cops dealing with drunk Karens. Don't know how it fits, but I got hooked. And I got to tell you guys, all my respect. I don't know how you handle those situations. I know the other ones. But I know my rights. And like, ooh. And I think what you guys need is like a little blow dart so they could just go, and while it's in there too, it will test them for the alcohol that they've always had. And then, what was, but here's the one thing I found was funny. So I've been doing a little Tai Chi, little working out and stuff, but I saw you guys put people through the roadside tests. And the one I don't get is this one. I'll have to get real loud. They say, lift one leg, hand to your side, lift one leg, and stare at your foot and count to 13. I haven't had a drink. And I've been working on my balance. I mean, because you can't. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys later tonight about that, because that must be, is there something, what is that test really about? All right. Now, earlier tonight, you heard Mick encourage you to say hello to me, and trust me, talking to all of you is why I come back here each year. You keep it real and truly humble me. After playing a cop, I think I could step into your shoes. One other thing on that one, each year something happens, but the one that was a big one a few years ago, they had the body cam footage of two guys getting shot point blank in an apartment building trying to save and help this woman. And you could see the footage, and it's horrifying. And these two guys got up on stage, and when it came time to get on the microphone, they're like, oh. And I took over after. I said, you have no problem standing in front of a loaded gun, but this scares you? Getting up here talking, I'll tell you, I'll do this 24/7 as long as I don't have to be on the receiving end of that. Now, to present our first Top Cops case of the night, she's a former tough and no-nonsense assistant DA from New York City who worked with hundreds of cops, and she prosecuted some of the Big Apple's toughest crimes. Then she became one of the foremost TV legal analysts on some of the biggest criminal court cases in America, appearing on The Today Show, Dateline, 2020, and other high-profile shows. For the past several years, she's been the host and keen legal analyst on the hit investigative discovery series, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, and its spin-off series, which focuses on other true crime, The Curious Case of. Both streaming now on HBO Max as well as Hulu. Please welcome to the stage, Beth Karras.
Good evening, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be back here again for another year of Top Cops. Having had the privilege of presenting at these awards for the past several years, I am more in awe each and every time I honor you and your bravery and commitment. And our first case tonight is emblematic of the danger you place yourselves in every day that you're on the job. The Las Vegas Athletic Club on North Rainbow Boulevard was busy with people working out when 34-year-old Daniel Ortega calmly walked in, armed with a high-powered PCR .223 caliber rifle. Ortega had worked out at the gym, but that day he wasn't there to pump some iron. Rather, he went there to commit murder. As Ortega moved through the large gym patrons and employees ran for their lives. His target that afternoon was most likely Edgar Quinones. Edgar had worked at the gym for 15 years, and when Ortega spotted him, he opened fire, killing Edgar and then wounding several other gym patrons.
is a shooting in our gym right now, 1725.
Ma'am, okay, where are you right now?
I'm in the gym. I'm enclosed in a closet, but there's somebody in here shooting.
By 1:34 p.m., multiple 911 calls came flooding in. Dispatchers immediately requested all units to head to the gym where there was an active shooter. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officers Aaron Javier, Skeeter Black, and Cade Urban were the first to arrive on the scene. Their dramatic body cam footage puts us in the moment and is an example of teamwork at its finest.
I think we might have been heading back for lunch. That's when the call came out. That's when we, without hesitation, we turned on our lights and sirens and we rolled code 3 to the gym.
I immediately made a U-turn and started running code. Officer Javier ended up being behind me.
So I could see him the entire time. And we're basically a two-man convoy.
What caught my eyes was my two partners, Aaron and Skeeter, saying that they were en route, lights and sirens. So I self-dispatched myself to the call, so I knew that they were going to get there before I was.
When I took a left into the parking lot, there was a lot of people in the parking lot, and as I was getting out, there was an elder white male adult telling me that there were people inside, people were hiding in the bathroom.
Got a guy with a long-range rifle inside.
But everybody was yelling stuff to us about what was going on.
There's one guy down and they need help inside.
I donned my gear, my rifle plates, and grabbed my rifle. I knew Javier was right behind me.
And so my first thought is, okay, I need to sprint ahead to stack up with them so we can make entry.
When we were moving up and getting closer to the door is when our dispatch came over the radio and said that the suspect was coming out.
Skeeter, take cover, he's coming up. Okay, yeah, he's at the entrance. Kid, get some cover. I see him, he's right there, he's by the front door.
And at that point, we took cover behind a large pillar.
So now we kind of go from offensive to, okay, well, let's set up, find cover, and see if we can get eyes on him.
When I posted up on the pillar, I saw the suspect come out as far as just the rifle in his hand.
Copy, suspect coming out. Get cover.
But I could not see through the windows because of the dark tint, so I could not see inside.
I don't have a shot.
I was so ready to make entry that meeting him at that front door threshold really kind of made me have to take a step back and kind of rethink everything.
So I took right side barricade on that pillar, and that's when I laid eyes on the suspect.
See him in the entrance. One WMA, all black clothing with a rifle.
He was hiding behind the wall. He was poking his head out multiple times, and I can recall that he did make eye contact with me.
And he immediately went back inside.
Is he trying to set us up for an ambush?
Hey, he's locking the doors, dude.
I isolated him in my optic, and that's when I took my shot.
Is that you, Kate? Is that you? Shots fired, shots fired. That was 2 William 34.
That time the glass shattered, so it was a little difficult to see and track him.
I honestly, my heart dropped because I thought the suspect was shooting at us.
So I remember looking at Skeeter, and I'm seeing Skeeter is still in the fight. He's not shot, he's fine.
It was within maybe 5-10 seconds right after my shot that he ran outside.
He's moving, he's moving!
We hit him 4 times for sure.
The radio, shots fired, suspect is down, suspect is down.
We had civilians still trying to escape, and so I needed to make sure he was out of the fight so that they were all safe.
You know, we're trained that where there's one, there's 2 or even 3. So Skeeter, he covered the front doors of the gym.
Hey, I need a team with me!
There were already several teams clearing the gym.
Is it clear? Clear, coming out. Stairs. Keep going, keep going.
And it was deemed that there were no other threats and that he was the only one.
We only have one right now. We have one individual down. He's TV. We're on the north side right now, upstairs.
It definitely was the most intense call that I've ever been through. I feel like the reason that every cop signs on is for calls like these.
This was our first time dealing with an active shooter. All three of our first time also firing our weapons.
And I'm extremely thankful that Skeeter and Cade, my brothers,
The bond that we built through this call will never be broken. I do consider them my brothers.
So Daniel Ortega would die as a result of being struck multiple times by these officers. And there's no telling how many more murdered victims there would have been, other than Edgar Quinones, had these officers not arrived to stop the attack. Now, please welcome to the stage your first 3 top cops of the evening from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Officers Skeeter Black, Aaron Javier, and Cade Urban.
So I'm the junior guy, so of course I'm the one that's going to be speaking. But it was like our host said before, I would much rather do that 5 more times than have to stand up here and talk in front of all of you. But first, thanks to these two. They, like I said, they're my brothers. For sure, I'm glad it was them that was there with me, and it's definitely thank you to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and God. He put us all 3 in that area when we're not normally over there, and we just happened to all arrive around the same time. Thank you to the PBA, and thank you to NAPO, and then my assistant sheriff is here. Thank you for setting up all the training that we need to be successful, and that man's a legend right there.
So guys, congratulations on winning one of the NAPO Top Cop Awards this year. You know, it's a great honor. We always compare this event to the Academy Awards of police work. So congratulations on everything you guys did and earned.
Thank you.
So, you know, your call was involving an active shooter situation. Active shooters are something we all practice responding to in the academy. We continue to practice it during in-service training throughout our careers. What's going through your minds as you're responding to this type of situation?
I think the first thing that was on our minds was get to the threat. No hesitation, make that U-turn, roll code 3 and get there. Help the people out that need help.
Right, because, you know, this was going on in an open gym while people are exercising. It's a packed facility. So when you're on your way there, you really don't know what you're going to roll up onto, how many casualties there's going to be, or how many shooters are really even in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things when we first showed up. I think we said in the video, there was people still everywhere kind of standing around recording. Actually watching my body camera back, I had a guy yelling at me where the shooter was. I have no idea. Couldn't hear him. He just was like, oh, I think he's in the women's bathroom, which obviously he was wrong. But so, yeah, it was pretty chaotic. There's probably 50, 60 people still standing outside when we showed up.
I like how when you guys got up there, I remember one of you guys all are kind of close together, but not on top of each other. And one of you is like, make sure you're behind cover, make sure you're behind cover. And that's important to point that out is because sometimes you have the blinders on. And even if one of you has the blinders on, that person's in trouble. So that was smart. Whoever said that.
No, it was great communication because I didn't hear any of it. And so I was obviously front because I got my body sorry.
Body camera?
Yeah. Because anyway, I done myself and I was going front, and then I heard his voice saying, hey, he's coming out. And then it was automatic to find cover and post up. And then I saw him come out the door like immediately. So
Skeeter thought I didn't have to.
Because I was wearing ties.
My cover.
Didn't have cover.
I was just off my cover trying to get out to find the shooter.
Yeah.
It's hard when you can't see when you can't see what's going on. Like what you said, the windows were tinted, so you can't see.
So my point of view, it was all just black tint. I could not see it. It was like a scene through a wall. I couldn't see it. I saw the gun come out, but I could not see him. I could not see through the windows. So my point of view is we had all the glass windows everywhere. And when I looked over to my left and saw Cade, I felt like he was exposed because of all the windows right there to the right of us. They could see him a little bit. I did not. So.
And that's one of the factors that you have to consider living in Vegas.
majority of the windows in Vegas are tinted, so he's gonna have the advantage over us. So we have to kind of form around that.
You know what I find interesting is we're all policing in an atmosphere right now where the mainstream media second guesses and Monday morning quarterbacks almost everything we do. And they have a chance to slow down body camera footage. They have a chance to rewatch things 10 times, 15 times, and critique our actions. But when it's happening in real time and you have split seconds to react and you're under this kind of stress, even after practicing and training, you went through a situation where you're not even hearing everything that's going on. You didn't hear somebody who's trying to communicate to you where he thought the shooter might have been. And these are the things that you're dealing with in real world when a lot of people are hiding behind a camera and Monday morning quarterbacking our actions. So I think it's a great thing to point out and very important to point out that when the mainstream media is critiquing us, they're doing it from a position of comfort and not the high stress level situation that we're in.
I think the thing that kind of gets lost in translation is us as cops critique ourselves harder than anybody else.
100%.
I went back and watched my body camera. I kept saying to myself, like, why didn't we go in? And then I had SWAT commander come up to me. He's like, yeah, why would you go in?
Mm-hmm.
He told all of us, why would you go in if he's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
So he said to us, like, why under your death? And kind of, okay, cool. Because we're trained to go.
Right.
We're trained to go. Active shooter, we're trained to go. And so it was kind of a crappy feeling when we had to stop.
And that's why every bit of information that we get while we're driving to the call, to the point that we arrive, is very important. Listening to your radio, being able to multitask, grabbing your rifle, charging it. That's when we heard, as we were approaching the gym, that he's coming out, so we have to change gears. We have to remember that the windows are tinted. He has the advantage. If we just push up, and then we didn't hear stimulus, he was coming out. Sure enough, Skeeter saw him, so we just changed, and it was almost a reverse ambush on him.
There's a lot going on in that situation. I mean, really any situation for cops, you have your radio going on. You guys are communicating. I know you're yelling at him to take cover and whatnot, but at least you guys are still communicating. And then you're still worried about him. So you got multiple things going on. He really has like maybe one thing going on. So even at that, you guys were very well restrained. And I think that's what kept you guys in a good spot. And then obviously he came out and you guys took care of business. You guys did the right thing. And God bless you guys.
No, it worked out really well. The stars were aligned on that day, so for sure.
You guys saved a lot of lives because who knows how many guys you would have killed running into that parking lot with that rifle. So thank you guys.
Thank you, and couldn't do it without Skeeter and Cade.
Yeah, great work, guys. Top cops, well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
it.
Congratulations, guys.
Pleasure.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats. Thank you.
And I always carry off duty, as it is our Second Amendment right. It's a Second Amendment for a reason. Our founding fathers created this for a reason.
And he works where we live. We don't live in the safest neighborhood, so I feel safer with him, carrying and being trained.
Those statements are from our next top cop and his supportive wife. Their words Officer Jose Valenzuela of the Boston PD lives by. He came to this country from the Dominican Republic, where he dreamed of becoming a baseball player. But once he realized that wasn't in the cards, he dreamed about wearing a different uniform, that of the Boston PD. And once on the force, he started patrolling the area where he grew up and still resides, the tough Roxbury section of Beantown. And it was also where he met his lovely wife, Christine, and soon the couple would have a little girl. Now, on Saturday, March 1st, 2025, Officer Valenzuela was off duty after pulling a double shift. His wife wanted to go visit her mother that day. She was in a nearby rehab center, and while seeing your mother-in-law may not be number one on your list after 2 exhausting shifts, Officer Valenzuela didn't mind. He adored his wife as well as his mother-in-law. So after holstering his off-duty weapon, the couple left for nearby busy Copley Square, where they pick up some Chick-fil-A first.
I see the line and I'll tell my wife, oh damn, it's packed in there today. I'm like, but it makes sense. Saturday, Chick-fil-A doesn't open on Sundays, so everybody's probably trying to get their, spicy deluxe like I was trying to do.
So he double parked right in front of Chick-fil-A. I was very close to the front door, so I could see the crowd.
As I was finishing my order, I seen these two kids running in, and they looked so scared. You could see fear and you could sense it. And they met up with a few other friends that were already there in Chick-fil-A. And then all of a sudden, this man comes in with a knife in his hand and bleeding from the right side of his head. And all I'm thinking is either these kids mess with the wrong person or, it's getting really bad now that people are just coming around with knives, like going and stabbing people. I'm like, you can just see like he's ready to kill somebody. Like you could, like he just came in there with a mission, with a purpose. And I drew my personal weapon and I started giving verbal commands. I told him drop the knife, Boston police, drop the knife. I self-identified myself as a Boston police officer. I know I was off duty, but again, we're never off duty, right? I was yelling from my lungs, like, hey, drop the knife, and begging this person, brother, please drop the knife, That person began attacking the kids, started swinging the knife at them. And all I was thinking is, back to my training, okay, my backdrop, what's behind the threat? So I was like, okay, if I close my distance, I could get a better shot and not hit anybody. So at that point, now everybody starts running because they see my weapon out, and they're like, what the hell's going on? And he must have been at least maybe 12 feet away from me. And he just is coming at me. So I fired my weapon.
I heard the gunshots and I saw a mob of people. People were bursting out of the doors, pushing each other to get out. I saw the look of terror on everyone's face. So everybody's running to get out, and my instinct was to go in. I just know that he's someone that's not gonna run out, even if it had nothing to do with him. He's gonna stay there and make sure that everything's all right. So I run in. I see the person on the floor, blood all around him. He's laying there. My husband standing over him.
Once I shot him, I called 911, identified myself.
He's providing aid. He's trying to help this guy. And he's telling me, get out of here, get out of here.
She was crying, which is understandable. She's never seen nothing like it. And not only that, like her husband was involved in a shooting, so she thought something happened to me. But she's strong. I love that woman. She's my rock. Her and my daughter, they're my motivation.
The thing is with my husband, whatever he does, he puts his mind to it, he puts his heart into it, and he's amazing at whatever he does. So when he does something great, I'm not surprised.
I'm a true believer of God. God puts his people in situations that they can handle, and that he puts us there for a reason.
I'm really proud of my husband. He's a hero. He's a hero.
Please welcome from the Boston PD, Top Cop Officer Jose Valenzuela.
I'm going to keep it short. I just want to say thank you to Larry and the BPPA for nominating me, as well as everybody that came here to visit me, NAPO as well. I'm just very grateful. Again, like I said, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and he put me there for a reason. That being said, again, like every single one of us, we don't want to take nobody's life. We want to go a whole career with, hoping that we don't have to use our firearm, but we got to do what we got to do to make sure we save countless lives, and as well as we make it home safe to our loved ones. I just want to say I love every single one of you guys that came with me today, and show the support, and God bless everybody, and God bless every man and woman in the uniform.
Worked double the night before. I probably slept for like 3 to 4 hours. I remember waking up and my wife, my daughter, who she never goes with nobody. But that day, again, God knows what he does. You know what I mean? I guess, we can't, I didn't know that was going to happen that day, but God knows what he writes, right? So, what he has for everybody's,
For the future.
For the future, exactly. And I just remember my daughter leaving with my father, my mother. And then my wife goes, hey, we should grab something to eat. And we both couldn't agree on where we wanted to eat. She wanted to eat, I forget what it was. I think she wanted to eat like something I didn't like. And then I told her, I was like, oh, we should probably go eat somewhere here in downtown. She didn't want it. And then we both agreed to Chick-fil-A.
Happy medium. My wife
Solid
loves Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean, you can never go wrong with Chick-fil-A, right? With some milkshake, vanilla milkshake. So I remember I was just, finishing up with my order, and I could see these two kids coming in there, like very scared. For those that serve and do this job, when somebody's scared, like, for their life.
Mm-hmm. The antenna go up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm again, I slept 3 hours, and then I go from that to, okay, it's on now. You know what I mean? What's going on? Then I see the suspect coming in there with a knife, and two things came through my mind. I'm like, either this kid did something to this person, or this is turning like Europe. Like people are just going around like stabbing people up. So again, it was God put me there for a reason.
Right.
I remember going from, again, I was sleepy to now it's on. Now I forgot. Now I'm no longer off duty. Now I gotta act as a cop. And I just remember the person going up there and try to harm those kids. And I just kept giving verbal commands, identify myself. Again, I was off duty, so I had nothing identifying me as a police officer. And I just kept identifying myself, giving verbal commands, trying to de-escalate the situation. And then, then the person came towards me, and I had to do what I had to.
Right, it's preserve your own life.
Yes.
And the kids said
Yeah, so the kids were right behind me as well.
Right.
So when the person was swinging with the knives, the kids were right behind me.
So you put yourself in between the kids and the harm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then your wife ran in after.
Yeah, so that's the craziest part, because again, God knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're very believer in Jesus Christ, so my daughter not being there was huge, because she's always with us. And she always likes to go in with me wherever we go. So I just imagine, the trauma that would have been for my little one. So my wife goes in, and she's crying. She's like, "What's going on?" She heard the pop.
Mm-hmm.
She heard the gunshots from the vehicle, and she goes in there, and I'm thinking, at that point, I'm not thinking like, okay, I'm just thinking about the scene. And I don't want no more, people coming in here. So I told her, like, you got to get out of here. It was not the nicest way, but I told her, I was just trying to, I know my wife, she doesn't like to talk in front of people.
Right.
And she doesn't like she would be nervous doing this with you, right?
And you have an understanding of what's going on.
Exactly.
So you just took police action.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just thinking, like, detectives are going to come in here. They're going to want witnesses. I know my wife, she doesn't like to talk, you know what I mean? I'm like, get out of here, you know what I mean? So now I'm just trying to think, like, okay, I need these victims who were being attacked. I need them here.
Mm-hmm.
So I need them here. So when detectives come, superiors, whoever it is, to process the scene, they got everything that they need. At that point, I began rendering aid. I put them in the recovery position to find the gunshot wounds. And then I just started working the suspect, call 911. Identify myself on over with the dispatcher, and at that point everybody came. Cavalry came, the EMS, and all the other officers.
Well, your actions that day were heroic, and you are well deserving of the Top Cop Award that you're getting this year.
Thank you.
One of the things that I'm curious about is, what was it like after the fact, right? What was it like when, 2-3 days later, I know I did the right thing, right? I saved 2 kids. I saved however many other people are in Chick-fil-A. But what's it like kind of going through that process and healing process and figuring out, thinking about what happened?
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, I gotta say the support system behind me was amazing. My brother, my parents, obviously my wife, my daughter, and all my friends around me, some of them are coming here tonight.
That's great.
Yeah, they
Support system.
and some of, yeah, and some of them couldn't make it, but it's understandable, family and scheduling system issues. But I gotta say, everybody around me, from my past sergeant at the and my last assignment in B2, Sergeant Irvin, he was amazing. To my current sergeant, who I have now, Phil Bissonnette, to all my co-workers in my unit now, I'm just very grateful and blessed. I've had so much support, and that's one thing I gotta say. Like, also my belief and having those people support. Again, the night off, I open my Bible and I pray. You know what I mean? And I ask God, if I did something wrong, Lord, then don't let me be at peace. And if I did something right, then let me sleep. You know what I mean? And honestly, everybody around me have been great. One thing that you don't see in this line of work is superiors treating you, because you're a subordinate. So, it's
paramilitary.
Yeah, it's paramilitary, so it's understanding. And there was a captain in B2 where I was before. Captain Haji was saying that man was picking me up every week, taking me out to make sure I was good. And my sergeant, sergeant where I'm at now, who was my boss and 4 years ago, who's my sergeant now, he was always reaching out to me, checking on me. So again, it's just those things, those little things for me. You don't have to buy me anything or get me anything. It's just those little, you show me the respect and the love. You bought me already. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome to hear, is the sport you have. That really isn't.
Yeah.
I feel like you hit it on the head. Like, God put you there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you were meant to be there, and the whole situation worked out honestly perfectly with the daughter not being there. So
yeah, absolutely. Again, and she's great. My wife eventually had to tell her wife daddy's getting an award today.
Okay.
She didn't get into detail, but she's, again, they're both my rock. You know what I mean? They're the ones that keep me moving, keep me going.
And now you're their hero.
Yeah, again, I don't, if I can be honest with you, I don't see it that way. I guess, again, like, I know a lot of people are telling me this and I'm getting this award and hearing it, but if I could be genuinely honest with you, I don't know. I just feel like, again, God put me there. I don't see it like I'm a hero. You know what I mean? I still don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? It's been a year. It's now in March. It was a year. And I still don't know how to take that. If you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. Maybe others do take that in and, but if I can be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how to take that in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it sounds like you just kind of did what you felt like you were expected to do, right? You kind of just did what you knew in your heart was right.
Yeah.
You preserved life for these other innocent people.
Yeah.
And you're at peace with that, which is great.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Jose, it's a pleasure talking with you. I'm glad you get this award tonight. It's well deserving. Is there anything else you want to say to maybe some of the people out there in Boston? Some of the guys you work with that maybe you didn't get to recognize at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, like both of my partners my past partners who couldn't come today, Joe Flores and Michael Marchiana, I just want to tell them, I love them. Just like my guys that are here today, Delvis, Carlton, Cam, and Azadi. I'm very grateful to you guys. That's my circle, you know what I mean? And I'm just, I'm very appreciative of you guys. And I just, obviously my brother, Jordanis, my wife, Christine, Aliyah, my daughter, my little sister's here, beside that, my brother's wife, my sister-in-law. So again, I'm just, grateful that everybody came here to show me support. And I love every single one of you guys. I'm very grateful for you and all you guys in here. God bless you guys, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jose.
God bless you, Jose.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you,
brother.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot. Before I get started, I just want to say, if you're at a table right now, we probably put some cards out there that have a little QR code on them. I promise you, it's in no way self-promotion. It is on February 11th, 2024, there was a police officer who lost his life in Las Cruces, New Mexico, named Jonah Hernandez. And the chief of police at that point, Mr. Jeremy Story, asked me if I would do a show as some sort of memorial. I said, man, I don't know if you've ever seen my show. There's a lot of tequila involved. But I am coming out to do a songwriter's retreat in Las Cruces. I'm going to bring some songwriter friends of mine, Jordan Walker, Tranny Anderson, Seth Mosley, and we'd be happy to do kind of a songwriters round for you and for Jonah and for his family and do whatever we can. And it was at that point when those songwriters from Nashville, Tennessee joined on stage with me and they realized this is so big. The men and women who do this job are so underrepresented, and we need to write the hell out of this song, and we did. That song is called Hard to Be a Hero. It is on that QR code, and it's going to be on my new project called Good for the Soul. You can unlock it for a week. If you scan that QR code, it's something we wanted to do specifically for Police Week and for NAPO, and so I just invite you to be a part of that. I wrote it for y'all and for these next men and women that we're about to present. Thank you so much for the men and women of NAPO and for all y'all in this room tonight for just being a part of this. Give yourselves a round of applause.
So we're here at the NAPO Top Cop Awards with Frank Ray. Frank, you've been this music star who's, your music has been sort of the theme of NAPO Top Cops now for a couple of years. So tell us a little bit about your history in police work yourself.
Oh, yeah. So I was a police officer in Las Cruces, New Mexico for 10 years. I worked on patrol, but on and off, I was always singing country music. That was always sort of my life's goal. Since I've been in diapers, I've wanted to sing country music. So that was always the direction my life wanted to go. And eventually, 2017, I hung up the badge and picked up my guitar and went to Nashville. And, fortunately, God had his hand on my life and my career, and I was able to land a record deal and all that stuff. But I've always wanted to stay close to my family and law enforcement, because you guys know that once you're in, man, it's a lifetime thing, right? And so, always been a huge supporter of law enforcement. And then as my platform continued to grow, I wanted to make sure that I used that music platform for something more than just my music and just be able to kind of be an advocate for law enforcement. And so that kind of got the attention of NAPO, Top Cops, and the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund. And so they brought me out as a chief ambassador. So that's kind of been my role over the last couple of years. It's been really cool, man, just be a part of this whole thing and just be out here Police Week. I mean, it's always an amazing thing to be a part of the brotherhood, a part of the family, and just see everybody interact and just kind of, take a week off and just get the respect that everyone deserves.
How does it make you feel that you're able to intertwine both your career as a law enforcement officer, your former career, and now your new career as a songwriter? Because obviously you've released songs that relate to law enforcement and how that affects your brothers that you sing about.
I think it's great, man. I mean, the country music fans have always been super kind of pro law enforcement, and support our military and all that stuff. So that's always been kind of good that I'm in the genre that really kind of accepts it. But at the end of the day, police officers, unfortunately, get a bad rap from a lot of people, especially with the growth of social media and all that stuff. So I think we need a voice of reason and people kind of counteract, and it helps when it comes from someone who's walked a mile in those shoes for 10 years. And so if I can use that through my music or through my platform, just speaking to someone, through my mental health organization, all that stuff, it's really good to be able to intertwine it to show support, because I know how difficult the job is and I know how thankless it is. And so when you have someone like me, then other people feel like they can step up and support law enforcement at a time where they don't feel that much support.
Yeah, so I think that's a great message. I love that you're being able to use your platform now to send out positive messaging about police officers. Yeah. Part of the reason we started this podcast was to battle that negative messaging that's out there in mainstream media so often. So I love hearing that your intentions are a lot like our intentions when we started this podcast.
Yeah. That's it, man. It's just trying to remind people of the human behind the uniform, right? You got to remind them there's a heart behind that badge, and everyone's different, right? And so I think it's important that we continue to do that in everywhere we can, because it is the noise. You got to kind of cut through all the noise, and there's a lot of it.
So I know you have a big part in a mental health organization too that helps police officers and first responders.
Yes, sir. So my manager and I, Oscar, we started this campaign called Fray, which is first responders mental clarity, and we wanted to make sure that first of all, the goal was we use my platform to raise awareness for the importance of mental health, because talking about the negativity on social media, there's also a negative stigma attached to mental health, and we all know that, right? No one ever wants to go into the position of authority or the position of law enforcement thinking that you can be vulnerable, right? Nobody wants to associate themselves with that quality, but that's so important for us to be able to deal with all the trauma and the stress that we, from the calls for service. And if we don't openly talk about that like it's a normal thing, we'll keep suppressing it, and that usually manifests itself in a really bad way. So the most important thing for us to do is to raise awareness, and I think that's what my organization strives to do. Another thing that we try to do is incorporate what we call decompression rooms. And so Arlington, Virginia, Arlington PD out here, we set them up with a room kind of about this size, and it's got like a full body massage chair, and it's kind of just a dark room, got some ambient lighting in there, a Bose speaker where you can just hook up like some really cool spa-like music, right? And that's what it feels like. It's kind of a little mini spa in the precinct, which is important.
I think in the precinct?
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
and they're building. I don't know if they do the booking and stuff there, but yeah, that's where it is, man. So if you're having a hard day at work, you can go take your vest off, take the Sam Brown off for a little bit, just go sit down in the massage chair and get massaged as well. Get your mind right, get your head right, and then go back out and take care of business. And so it's little things like that. Obviously, funding that sort of thing is sort of where we look at different organizations to kind of help that kind of thing. And we want to try to make that into a snowball effect and roll those out throughout every different police department in the country. So if we can do something like that, it's just a small token of saying like, hey, you deserve this too. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you for that. It means a lot for police officers out there to know that there's people in a position like you who want to give us that support, and you want police officers to know that we're still appreciated for the work we do out there every day. And everything you're doing, thank you. We appreciate everything you're doing, and thank you for being here at the NAPO Top Cops.
It's my honor, man. I appreciate you guys doing it. And let's keep this going, man. If anyone's interested in looking at the Fray stuff, they can go to frayoc.org. That's FRAYOC.org. Or you can visit my music at frankraymusic.com. You can find me on all the socials at Frank Ray Music. It's FRANKRAY. And of course, even now more than ever, I wrote this really great song called Hard to Be a Hero. It's not available yet. It's going to be coming out with the release of my new EP in June. But for this week, for Police Week in particular, we have a QR code, and we've been handing out little placards to everybody. They can scan it. You can unlock the song for at least 7 days. And it's yours to listen to. And it's just kind of my treat to the men and women of law enforcement, so they can hear the song, and hopefully they are moved. And
it really is. I've heard you post it on social media. I listened to it a couple of times. It's a great song. So hopefully a lot of the first responders out there listen to that song, and it really is.
Man, I'm so proud of that song. It's one of the best songs I've written, I think, and along with the songwriters as well. In Nashville, they just really understood the assignment. They came out and did a little benefit with me. And it was for a fallen police officer, Jonah Hernandez from Las Cruces Police. And once they went to that banquet, that sort of memorial, they really understood that we need to get this right. And so we wrote the song with all our heart, with every intention that it's for the men and women who do this job. And so, I'm excited about it, and there's definitely a demand for it, but I think it's more so for this community. I wrote it specifically catered to this community, law enforcement, military. So, I hope you guys take it and run with it. I wrote it for you.
Frank, that's awesome. I find it interesting that they went to the memorial and got inspired by going to the memorial initially, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been inspired by Top Cops for the last handful of years. I've been coming to this award show.
Man, isn't it something?
It's great, right?
Yeah.
So we've been saying for years that this award show should be televised. People out in the public should be seeing this. So that's why we're excited to be the first ones to be able to publicly put out the Top Cop Awards.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad you guys are doing it. That's the most important thing. That will help change the public sort of perception of what these men and women do, what they go through. When you see something like that, I get, some people might think like that's just a little too difficult to see or, to put out on mainstream TV, but, they put some worse stuff out there. I think it's about time to put something.
It helps bridge the gap between you.
Yeah, shine a light on what these men and women do, what the traumas that they experience. And I think this is a great event. I wish everyone could attend it, but if you guys are televising or you guys are going to showcase it, I think that's a step in the right direction. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. All right.
And the badge on his chest, kisses across, tucks it into his vest. His first day back since that night straight from hell. The judge called it justified, but it didn't help. His wife said, honey, you did what you had to do, but that ain't what they say on the 6 o'clock news. Sometimes it's the good guy who lives with the blame. It's hard to be a hero these days. It's easy to stand in the shadows. It's hard to find reasons to put on the cape. It's easy to hide in the back row. It's hard to be someone who's gotta be brave in a world that don't wanna be saved. It's hard to be a hero, hard to be a hero these days. She stepped off the plane, hit her knees, kissed the ground, got a pat on the back and went back to her hometown. 2 tours in a place she was sent to make better. Now the back of her mind's in that desert forever. Someday she wakes up and don't want to no more. Feels alone in the country she would have died for. 'Cause they step on old glory, curse Uncle Sam's name. It's hard to be a hero these days. It's easy to stand in the shadows. It's hard to find reasons to put on the cape. It's easy to hide in the back row. It's hard to be someone who's gotta be brave in a world that don't wanna be saved. It's hard to be a hero, hard to be a hero these days. He came here to save all the souls that are lost. I bet from up there it ain't easy to watch the world going crazier every lap around. Anyone else would have given up on us by now. It's easy to stand in the shadows. It's hard to find reasons to put on the cape. It's easy to hide in the back row. It's hard to be someone who's gotta be brave in a world that don't wanna be saved. Somehow he keeps showing us grace. It's hard to be a hero, hard to be a hero these days. It's hard to be a hero these days.
So Sergeant Rob Griffith, thanks for coming on the show today. We're here at NAPO Top Cops. You're one of the nominees, and we're proud to say that you're from Suffolk County, our hometown. Yeah. So Rob, you went through a critical incident where you saved people's lives, and there's an aftermath with that. There's a process that comes after going through a critical incident, such as what you went through. So can you tell us a little bit about what that was like, and what sort of support did you feel from your peers at home?
Well, it's definitely a difficult thing I went through, and it's something where I had a lot of outreach, starting at home with family, wife, any family reached out to me and made sure I was okay, followed up with me. The job itself, I had multiple people who I worked with, and then I had the SOA, PBA, multiple people coming out and talking to me, asking if I'm all right. I sat down with the chaplain, was working with the chaplain, and then did the warrior range. There's multiple things that throughout the duration of months afterwards, they let me know what to expect and what to bring on and what I needed to go through. And it's something that was really, really nice to have these guys reach out and support me the entire way, specifically the SOA, my union, and just making sure that I was supported before, during, and after.
I'm glad you bring up your wife and your family at home, because a lot of times we focus a lot on our peer support, meaning our coworkers, or the other members of PBA, the SOA, the SDN. But sometimes it's also the support that you have at home. It's your spouse, it's your children, it's your parents. So it's nice to hear that you felt the support you needed coming from the family at home who may have never gone through something like this before.
A lot of them don't understand what we go through as officers. So having a conversation, being like, hey, this is what it was. I remember speaking to her for the first time after my incident, and she knew it was a big moment for me. And it was something where she knew exactly there to be there for me. And my wife, Lauren, was my rock, everything, her family, my family, people reaching out. And it's something where I don't like to talk about it, but them following up with me and making sure I was okay was important. And that's where it started. Like going home right afterwards, that's the way bringing me home and making sure I was okay. But then it's them. They're the ones who are, they're the blue family that support me. And they're there at night when I have the rough nights at night where I wasn't sleeping, making sure I was okay, talking to me, making sure I'm drinking water, just health-wise from start to finish. It was something that a lot of people don't realize that's key to have, and I was blessed to have it. And you know, I owe my life to her and everybody else in my family. It's something that's hugely important.
So Rob, prior to getting promoted to sergeant, you were actually one of our PBA delegates too.
Yes.
Right? So you made a career out of helping police officers. What did it feel like to be on the receiving end of that kind of help? Like from that other perspective?
It's unique because I always wanted to help people, and that's why I was in that position when I was a PO. And then having everybody reach out to me, it just came full circle. And it's something where I want to put forward and move on and help the union any way I can by joining the peer support team after due time when I'm more further removed from my incident, where I can help them and just kind of guide them where I was guided. And it's just different of being on this side of it. But it was amazing. And the guys and girls and everybody just supporting me is the reason why we have these unions. It's the reason why, you know, we're here for each other. You know, a lot of guys and people are not. And the first thing that happens, hey, are you okay? They're all at the hospital. They're making sure I'm okay. And they follow through. So recently, I had guys reaching out to me about a month ago. Hey, how's it going? How's everything going? And these are guys that I worked with from the PBA through the SOA and guys from the city. I haven't spoken to in a few years. I worked for 4 years. You know, like just talking 6 years ago. They reaching out to me. Hey, how's everything going? I saw your video. Is everything okay? Can I do anything? Bring in food, drop it, just making sure I'm okay from start to finish. And that's the city union. PBA, SOA, it's an outpour that I'm blessed to have, I'm grateful to have, and now I want to give it forward, making sure I'm there for anybody who has to go through any of these critical incidences, because we need to be there for each other, and it's okay to get the help afterwards, and just to make sure you're doing well, and whether it's going to the Warrior Ranch and talking to them and making sure, you know, horses, or chaplain or anybody, it's okay to have these conversations, and, you know, having family and friends and just talking about it. And sometimes you don't talk about it enough. And I was blessed to have that with multiple movies.
I have a great appreciation for how open you are about this. And not a lot of people want to talk about when they go through something. A lot of us as cops want to hide ourselves and really not discuss it at all. I think you're very open to it and you're open to sharing it with everybody else. Maybe is there one piece of advice that you've learned over this period that maybe somebody down the road goes through a similar incident as you? What's the one piece of advice that you give them?
Just be open, right? And be okay talking about it. And if you're not okay talking about it right away, in time, just make sure you're exposing yourself out there, letting yourself have people reach in. And some people are closed off, and I'm usually closed off. I don't need help. I can usually am independent. But at that point in time, I needed the help. I needed to have conversations and the support. So anybody who goes through any type of incident in the future, just make sure you're having a conversation, whether it's a loved one, a friend, a family friend, anybody, somebody, your partner, or anybody. Just have that conversation and be open. And you believe it or not, it feels good. It helps you move along and recover mentally, physically, emotionally, sleeping. I finally slept after having these conversations. It was a while before I was sleeping. And that's the best advice I give anybody. And anybody needs to reach out. I absolutely 100% will be the first person at any call, any time, helping each other out. And I know all of us will. Anybody from the union, from PBA, SOA will be the first ones there. And just open up and let them help you out. And if not, you know, in due time, we'll be there supporting you throughout the entire time. So.
Rob, thank you for everything you've done. To me, it brings me great pride to see a friend getting nominated for Top Cops this year, right? So it's great to see you getting recognized for the heroic actions you took, because there is somebody alive in Suffolk County today because of the actions you took.
I appreciate that.
So thank you.
It's well deserved.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your next presenter embodied the role of one of TV's most memorable female cops ever, homicide detective Lily Rush in the hit CBS drama Cold Case. She's also played Tom Cruise's tormented wife in the iconic Steven Spielberg sci-fi thriller Minority Report, and Nikki Sixx's mom in the hilarious Netflix Motley Crue biopic The Dirt. Talk about range. Please welcome NAPO's dear friend, Catherine Morris.
It's so great to be here with you every year. I so look forward to the respectful reverence, these deep conversations that we get to have, the breaking bread with John Flynn, cutting off meat and talking about very quirky things. Thank you, NAPO. Thank you, Mick McHale. I love the piece that you just did about LA and the Eaton fires. You know, for us, I mean, trying to pack 2 kids into a car and negotiate whether you're going to take important papers and really things that are really special to you, and you end up with 2 industrial trash bags full of stuffed animals and saying, okay, we're leaving our home, and our home was fine. But driving through Altadena in that thick smoke and heading to either Big Bear or Palm Springs and not knowing what was going to happen, and then seeing police cars and seeing them drive to it, and to see you guys here tonight is just so incredible. So thank you for honoring them. And I know so many people that lost their homes. I think 11 friends between Eaton and Pacific Palisades. So thank you so much for what you do every single day and the people that were not able to evacuate. So. This is Amarani Hinier. Last year, she took a 5-month hiatus from the El Paso, Texas Police Department to finish up her duty in the National Guard, where she graduated as an officer. When she went back on the force, she asked to be paired with Officer Mark Perez. They'd known each other since they were rookies, and there was no one better to help her get her groove back. So on Sunday, June 1st, 2025, they partnered up, and on their first call that afternoon, they would be tested in ways that neither of them had ever been tested before.
That was my first day working with him, and I was excited. I'm like, you ready to work? You ready to work? And he was too.
That's what it was. It was just like, I'm not driving. No, you're driving. All right, if I drive, you drive next time. Like, just that little dry humor just to mess with each other.
Then we get this call, and the dispatcher's also telling us what's going on.
The son was the one calling, and he said his dad had access to a firearm and an axe, like a hatchet. So I'm seeing all that, and then it says he's waiting at the neighbor's house, which to me is like, okay, he doesn't even feel safe to be in the house with his own parents. So based on that, I decided to go to code 3. So we get there, and sure enough, we see a little boy. He's about 7 houses down from his house. We didn't know that which house was it.
And he's flagging us down, literally like this. He has no shoes on. He's just on his socks, and it's hot.
You could tell he's very anxious. He's pointing to the house where he lives at.
From what I remember asking is, where are your parents and what are your parents' names? And he answers that they're in the house.
We ask the little boy, if, the neighbors, is it okay if he stays with you while we go? And they're like, no, that's fine, sure.
And that's when we're walking to the house. It's a very nice neighborhood. I had never been there at all. I see a guy rush, like, out of the house.
Raise your hands.
That to me is automatically like danger, right?
I didn't see him until he kind of cleared the truck and had already pulled out the gun and pointed it.
And I looked at his hands automatically. Sorry if I cuss, but like I had like a what the like a fucking gun. In a matter of like seconds, he like pointed at me.
That's where he starts shooting.
You're gonna die if you don't react quicker than this guy.
And this is all happening within 5 seconds, right? And that's when I start shooting.
Put the gun down!
he keeps shooting, like he's not going down. Like now I'm like honed in on him. And just as soon as that happened, that's when I got shot in the leg. In my head, it gave me like you're exposed, stupid, like almost like that, like, hey, wake up, like you're exposed, like go to the truck, you need cover.
We're also taught to stay off the X. Don't ever stay in one spot too long. So I'm trying to move, find cover as well. There's like a plastic trash can bin. I'm like, that's the only thing there. So it's not going to do much, but it'll slow something down just in case. At this time, I didn't even know he and Ed were shot in the leg.
I felt the impact, but pain-wise, I didn't dwell on it at all. I just thought, like, I just didn't even think about it because the threat was still there.
Put it down! You keep giving him those commands to drop the weapon, to stop.
It's clear that we have to make it out alive. He's not giving up.
And he kind of like slowly goes like that, like he's gonna hold it with both hands, and that's when we shot.
And I saw him go to the ground. That's when I felt the wetness on my leg from the blood.
And that's why I said, "You good?" She's like, "Yeah." She didn't sound panicked. She didn't sound like freaking out.
I put my tourniquet on, okay? And in my video, like when I'm putting on my tourniquet, I'm like so pissed. 3 to 5 minutes after he went down, that's when the first unit gets there.
So it was an experience. Not something I would recommend, but it does make you kind of happy that you can function. You know, you can function as an officer.
It was a wake-up call for me to like stop doubting myself. That this is what I trained for. This is what they trained for.
Luckily, the victim's wife only suffered minor injuries and would soon be reunited with her son, whose brave 911 call may have saved multiple lives that day. Although this was the first time either officer had ever fired their weapons, El Paso detectives say that they struck the subject 10 times. When we spoke to both of these brave officers, they stated that they are not normally very religious people, but on that day, they both believed that someone was looking down on them. And it didn't hurt that Officer Perez's mom, seen here with her son, was at church just 5 minutes away from her son, and Officer Hiner when they were in the battle for their lives. Always need a mom at church. Oh, and if you thought you heard a dog whining in the background during Officer Perez's interview, here's the culprit. Please welcome from El Paso, Texas, PD Top Cops Officer Amirani Hiner and Mark Perez.
This is crazy. Even almost a year later, I'm still in shock that this ever happened. And I just have to let everyone know. My supervisor, who also came, Lieutenant Vela, so he called me back in January, out of nowhere. And then he's like, hey, I wrote this for you. Can I read it to you out loud? I'm like, okay. And it was a narrative that he submitted for the award, but he didn't tell me that. After hearing it, I'm like, oh, thank you, sir. Like, I just thought, oh, he was being nice and wanted to kill time. Like, he never mentioned it. Like a month later, he's like, hey, I have good news. So my mentality remains the same. I love El Paso, I love my city. And I don't doubt that this is what I was meant to do. God granted me the privilege to continue living. He put a shield over me and my partner, and we made it home. Surviving this incident was only half the battle, and I want to thank the following for helping me push through.
my family, my parents, my siblings, and my best of friends, my ride or dies, the West Side Regional Command evening shift, my supervisors, the El Paso Police Department, and my National Guard unit, the 3rd 133rd, the Apex Battery. And of course, my partner. I couldn't have asked for anyone better to handle that call. I'm indebted to all of you. Thank you.
I didn't plan on speaking, but I'll try to keep it simple and short. Just want to tell my family that's here, thank you. My coworkers, my sergeants, thank you. I mean, that was a hell of a day for us. I take great pride. I like to think I'm a good person at heart. And that all comes down to my foundation, my family laid down for me. So that's just one half of the person that makes me up. And the other half, it's just a big shout out and thank you to our department. And of course where I work, right, the West Side. So a big shout out to the West Side of El Paso PD. Every single one of those officers, whether I was a rookie as my FTOs, riding with partners, they all kind of instilled something in me. So I attribute that day to them. So this is just as much as theirs as much as it is mine. Without them, I couldn't have been the officer I was. Without my family, I can't be the person I am. So those two halves right there make me the whole. So thank you guys.
Now we're with Officers Perez and Huner from El Paso, Texas. 2 more top cops here at NAPO's awards ceremony tonight. So congratulations on earning the Top Cop Awards. And thank you for coming on the show today. So your call was very interesting to me because you basically get out of the car, start approaching the house, and this guy just opens fire on you immediately without really any warning, any indication. It's like an unprovoked ambush.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, you know, as you start approaching the house and you see this guy ambush you, what starts going through your mind?
Well, I thought I had recognized the house. That's why I made that comment. But just as soon as he's just like aggressively walking out of the house, then I can't completely see him. I just start seeing red, and then like something bad is gonna happen, and it just reality hit for me when I immediately go see his hands and there's a gun, and in like the few seconds that he sees me, he just points it directly at me. And I had mentioned this when they were interviewing us for that video.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your body knows, like you're about to die if you don't react quicker than him. You go through such an adrenaline rush that I have never unholstered that fast in my life. But it's just like your body knows.
Your body just like started acting like the adrenaline. Let's just
Yes.
took over, and you're performing way better than you've ever performed in your life. Did it feel like something like that? Because
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure you, like you said, your life is on the line. Like you have to act immediately. And a lot of times you take for granted, you're walking up to a house, you think you're gonna knock on the door or whatever, but this guy's coming at you and attacking you
Yes.
immediately. So that must have been a lot.
I'm just grateful that it was just pretty much black and white. Like I didn't have to question or anything. Like it was clear cut that he needed to go. Like I had to go home.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting that like you guys kind of like you guys coming out and you guys got by the truck, and then you pointed out, I think while you were getting shot at, maybe it was after you got hit that you didn't have cover. I don't know if it was before or after you got hit, but you're like, oh shit, I need to get behind something. I need to find cover. I'm exposed.
Yes, sir.
So, and then you were able to get behind the car and stay in the fight. I thought that was impressive.
Thank you. To be honest, I had tunnel vision like immediately because I just wanted him to go down. He kept shooting. And in a way, me getting shot is like, you're exposed. Like, what are you doing? The next shot is going to be in your head. Like, all those thoughts were just rushing in my head. So, yeah, it was a wake up call for me to seek cover and go from there.
So I find it interesting that you bring up that you have experienced tunnel vision because we all go through training throughout the academy. We all go through in-service training throughout our careers, and you're taught and you're kind of prepared that you might experience tunnel vision, but it's still one of those things that you can't prevent, right? I mean, you've prepared, you've trained, and you still experience this when you were in a real life shooting. So, Officer Perez, as you arrived there too, and this gun battle's going on. Yeah, at one point you mentioned that you want to just keep moving. You don't want to stay on the X, right? So, what's going through your head as this is all starting to unfold?
Um, it was just for me it was like kind of an out of body experience. I knew what was going on, but it was still kind of surreal. Um, but immediately stuff like we don't. It's not like we constantly drill all the time. Certain tactics we do when we have our certain trainings throughout the year. But even if you just talk to yourself, tell yourself this is what I want to do in these scenarios. Even if you don't actively get to do it, it helps, and that's what happened with me. Like I immediately went to be in the axle and engine block of the car. Safest place because that's where the most cover's at in the vehicle. Moving around, he's moving around too. Obviously, he's our target. We're not trained to shoot moving targets. And we don't train while we're moving either to shoot a target. So yeah, those are two factors, but we're at least trying to, but I'm gonna try not get hit too. All those little things, just adding up that you're not really thinking about in the moment, you're just doing. That's why I said, just even if you don't get to practice it, you tell yourself, this is what I need to do. When you're at home, you just random thoughts, you hear about other experiences. You're like, how can I learn from this? So I to me, it was just weird how everything clicked without even thinking. You're just going.
Yeah, it's incredible. And throughout the shooting, you end up getting shot in the leg, and you continue to fight after getting shot. You continue to stay in the gunfight, and eventually, when the threat is neutralized and down on the floor, you say, "Oh, it's time to put on a tourniquet." So what's going through your head at that point? Now you're applying a tourniquet to yourself too.
Yeah, as soon as he went down, that's when I actually felt the wetness, like blood, and well, my partner was taking care of him, and I can't have him then come back to me and help me put on the tourniquet. Like he already has enough on his plate as it is, so I need to take care of whatever's going on. So as soon as I saw that Perez hadn't what am I looking for? Under control, yes. Then all right, I need to look for my tourniquet and let him know. That way he's aware that I'm not also pointing a gun at him, that he's gonna secure him. Meanwhile, I'm gonna put on my tourniquet. I was panicking a little, not gonna lie.
I don't blame you. I would be too.
I was seeing all the blood on my pants. And I'm like, is that like I just need to put it on. I need to put it as tight as I can and go from there. But I like I said in my video, I was mad. It was frustrating because to me, it was a mistake on my part. Instead of looking at it the big picture, where I'm blessed to be alive. I could have easily shut up further or any other direction, and I could have started internally bleeding bad. But thank God, like it just went in and out, and the tourniquet, it was enough for it to stop the bleeding. Because when they rushed me to the hospital, they didn't need to like stitch me up or anything. The tourniquet did everything.
So during this hectic and stressful situation, we all very often end up going back to our training, right? You go through police academy training, you train for these situations, these combat situations. We go through in-service training throughout our careers. So the training never stops. The practice never stops. So when you're going through this sort of situation and now it's time to apply a tourniquet, does it feel like second nature at this point with all the preparation you've done throughout your career?
I would say so. I know in a way better to describe it. I was like giving myself instructions. I was hearing them in my head. I know that's weird to say. I was just like when I got shot, I want to look for cover. Look like that thought like came to my head, like, telling me go look for cover, telling me all right, emergency reload, telling me all right, he's down, Perez got it, address the shot, put on the tourniquet right, put it tighter. Like I was giving myself those instructions, and if it wasn't for like the hours and hours of training, if it wasn't for that, I mean, I could have just gone into panic and not know what to do.
Like I immediately was making a crappy decision, either check on her or make sure he doesn't move because he was still breathing. He's already been shot a few times, which is to say he might be faking something. I just listened to her how she sounded. That's all I could do. To me, she didn't sound panicked. She sounded pissed off. Right. So I was like, she told me, I just told her, sit down, put it on, and she was doing it. I was gonna leave it. I didn't want to go and cinch it for her, and then when she might twitch or scream, and now, my focus is on that, not him.
Right.
But yeah, like same thing, just repetition equals memorization. That's what I was told in high school for math. But even in the academic standards, it was they would call it, in times of high stress, you revert back to your lowest level of training.
Right.
So what do you want to be your lowest level of training? They would have us sit down random times, put the training up, sign it up, boom. Even after the incident, my mind went, I call it rookie mode, because they drilled it. You're a rookie, find something to do. Go to job, something, find work. I was supposed to remove myself like we're supposed to, but my mind immediately was, Sarge, okay, what do I, who needs what? Who needs help? No, they didn't realize we were us responding.
Right, you're the ones that need the help.
And then so
Right.
they were like, oh, go interview so-and-so. I think I need you to go take a car and walk a street. I'm like, Daddy. And then not realizing I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Right.
That's something that goes back to, like I said, the training about it. Your mind is just taking over with what you've been drilled in. So,
And I think with that being your nature and just looking to try to help, it says a lot about your personality and how, being a cop probably comes natural to you, right? I mean, you just want to help, you want to be there for everybody, and you guys deserve this Top Cop Award. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great job. Great job,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'm proud to say that our next top cop, Paul Thomas, was recently promoted to the rank of detective with the Kentucky State Police. Before that, he was a trooper, and before that, he worked for the Moorhead, Kentucky Police Department. These agencies work together on calls and cases all the time, and that was the case on January 28, 2025. Trooper Thomas was working traffic on US 60 when around 11:15 or so, he saw two Moorhead PD vehicles speed by him, lights on and sirens on. A 911 call had come into the Moorhead PD stating a woman being held hostage by her boyfriend, Thomas Crouch, inside her trailer. Detective Thomas tells us what happened next, as without any idea where these cars were headed, he knew two things were critical. Time was of the essence, and there was always strength in numbers.
At this time, I had no idea where they were going, didn't know what was going on. I just kind of started going that direction. I received a phone call from Deputy Robbie Duncan with the Round County Sheriff's Office. He told me that there was a domestic on Buffalo Branch, and that a female involved had been stabbed by the male involved, and it was on my end of the county. And then I noticed the two MPD cruisers in her driveway, and there was a lady standing out in the driveway, and they were talking to her.
What you got?
Her friend Ken Kidd was inside the residence.
Who's at knife point?
Yes, Thomas Crouch. Stabber to death.
363 more.
And that he told him that if law enforcement showed up, that he would kill her and law enforcement both. Myself with the other MPD units heard Miss Kidd. We could tell that she was in distress.
She screamed. She screamed. Thomas, open the door. Please. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands.
On that threshold of the living room and the kitchen was a recliner that was flipped backwards. And Miss Kidd was sitting in the recliner, but the recliner was on its back. And I saw blood down her leg, and I could see blood around the floor. So I could tell she had been injured.
Show your hands. Get off of her. Get off of her.
Mr. Crouch was kneeling over her and holding her head down on the ground.
Get off.
Tried to lift him off of her, and when I lifted him off of her, I noticed that there was a knife on the counter, a big butcher knife, right above him. And I saw that he had another knife holding it to her throat. Once I saw that knife pressed against her throat, I stepped back and gave commands.
Drop the knife! Back off! Drop the knife! Hey, I will drop it! Drop it!
and he did not. He looked up at me, and then he looked right back down at her. And when he looked down at her, that's when I fired 2 rounds to save this kid's life.
363 more shots fired. Subject was holding an office.
EMS was already on scene to render aid. Then this kid was transported to St. Clair Hospital, where she was treated.
And while they were at the hospital, I was informed that Mr. Crouch had succumbed to the gunshot wounds. This was my first time to have to discharge my weapon on duty.
Please welcome to the stage your next top cop, deserving of his promotion and this award, from Kentucky State Police Detective Paul Thomas.
It's an honor to be up here and hearing all the other stories that has happened. I want to start off by thanking the Lord. He's in our corner. We're able to go home to our families. I want to thank NAPO. I want to thank my family. All the support. It's been amazing. And I want to thank the Kentucky State Police for allowing me to serve and protect for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Receiving this award is very appreciative, and won't take it for granted because we all know what this week's about, and there's been many law enforcement officers that didn't get to go home to their families. So thank you all for being here, and thank you, NAPO.
So we're here with Paul Thomas from Kentucky State Police. Paul, congratulations on being one of the top cops this year here at NAPO.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, the call you went on, you took life-saving action. You ended up having to discharge your firearm and did what you did to preserve life. But, since moving on from that day, your career's continued and you since have been promoted.
So it's more of a lateral transfer, or it's not necessarily a promotion, but since the incident, that happened in January 28th of 2025. And in September of 2025, I then moved into a detective position.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So since that incident, what was it like at work? Like how much support did you feel from your peers at work? How much support did you have from family and friends at home?
So my family, I've got a long line of law enforcement in my family, well, my wife's family. And then I'm surrounded by a bunch of law enforcement friends. There's been several of my friend buddies that are retired. I had a tremendous amount of support from the family, from the friends, from everybody I work with. I mean, it's been amazing, the support that I've had. And I think that is something that has helped me deal with the incident. Not saying that I'm thinking that I did something wrong. I don't think that one bit. I think that day I did what was the right thing to do at that moment, and I wouldn't change my decision for it. But you still, in the back of your mind, there's always things that you always think about. But I've had just overwhelming support that has helped me get through.
Yeah, that's great to hear because the amount of support that you get at home and at work, that means a lot for the police officers that go through critical incidents like this. And I agree with you when you said you did nothing wrong. You're at peace with what you did, the action you took, which is great because the action you took was the necessary amount of force to stop an ongoing threat.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You saved a life, and
that helps it.
Right, exactly.
So,
exactly.
But and like that's, and seeing the all the nominations that didn't get in, that didn't get picked for the 10 winners, like it's crazy that hearing some of them guys tell you some stories on what happened. Like, I'm is here over that one, like
but it's crazy. It's very very humbling. Very just it's been awesome. So.
Yeah, so hearing you say the word humble, that's it. That's been a theme throughout the night tonight. And it seems like pretty much every cop who's gotten honored here tonight has mentioned that they felt humble. They don't necessarily feel like a hero. They feel like they did exactly what any one of their partners or people that they work with would have done as well. And to me, as a cop, I feel a lot of pride in that. So many cops out there on the road do trust one another, just do the right thing and do whatever they have to do to preserve life and stop the threat and make sure everybody is as safe as possible.
I agree. Thank you for joining us, Paul. I mean, again, we're getting to see you here and your incident, and really it's something to us as well. It was a difficult call, and you made the right decision. You saved a life, and at the end of the day, that's what our job is. Our job is to save lives. So thank you again.
Well, thank you all. Like I said, it's been humbling, been just overwhelming too. But since then, I've had this support. So
that's great. Good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
everything out there. I'll try. Y'all take care.
All right.
For 15 seasons, your next presenter made the character of Detective Abigail Baker on the hit series Blue Bloods truly her own, and recently co-starred in Lifetime's thriller My Wife's Hidden Lover, as well as the heartwarming and comedic indie Waitlist, A Lovish Story. Please welcome Abigail Hawk.
Thank you so much, Catherine, and I don't need a box, thankfully, but I am in heels, so bear with me. I'm so thrilled to be here again. I just adore my time with all of you. Thank you so much for your service. I love hearing your stories. Every year you guys inspire me, and thank you for being the good. The body cam footage you are about to watch comes from the Rochester, New York Police Department. They released it a few weeks after several of their brave officers came under attack, fired upon after responding to a domestic dispute call. And while you won't be hearing from the officers before I bring them up on stage, you will be hearing from their chief of police, David Smith, who had this to say at a press conference back in January.
If you're watching it, it is very easy for you at any given moment to click pause and say to yourself, what would I have done here? There is no pause when this is in real life. There is no opportunities for these officers to hit pause. There is no opportunity for these officers to say, I tap out, I don't want to do this anymore. Officers make decisions in milliseconds that we have hours to review.
What powerful words, and how deserving they are when it comes to our next 4 top cops. It all began on December 19th, 2025, when a call came into 911 from the boyfriend of a terrified woman. He stated this woman's ex-husband, Eric Davis, was on his way over to her house and could possibly be armed. Davis had been violent in the past and currently had an order of protection to stay away from her and their children. Rochester police officers responded immediately, knowing they could arrest Davis for violating that order of protection. Chief Smith lays out what transpired on that frigid night back in December.
Officer Taylor was the first to arrive on scene. A newer officer, less than 5 years in the department. He begins to check the exterior of the location, looking for signs of a break-in. Officer Shingleton arrives almost simultaneously. After the officers make contact with the female inside the house, she indicates that she thinks Eric Davis has gone down the side of her house.
Is he still here?
Look at the side of the window.
The side of the window over here?
In the front. Officer Shingleton proceeds to make contact with Eric Davis, attempting to gather information.
Yeah, he's right here. What you doing? What you doing?
Person Charlie, you there?
Negative. Here, turn around. For what?
Stop! They're both struck simultaneously, so they both begin to retreat in an effort to find cover.
I'm shot! I'm
And unholster their weapons. Officer Taylor turned to re-engage with his weapon. Mr. Davis at that point had fled. Officer Shingleton, responding officers located him pretty quickly. He indicated to them that, he had in fact been shot, but he was able to give out a direction of travel and a description of the suspect. As officers began to flood the area, one of the first officers in the area was Officer Jake Goodenberry. Officer Goodenberry is the first to locate Eric Davis. He calls out on the radio that he's going to be making the stop.
Hey man, stop for a second. Stop for a second. Show me your hand.
Officer Goodenberry is struck in the right bicep.
I'm shot. He's got a gun. He's going. Lost. I need an ambulance.
He is right-handed, and this does disable his gun hand. He is able to transition to as we can to stay in the fight. As he is returning fire, Officer Nicole Amator arrives in the area. As she exits her vehicle, she immediately moves to cover behind a tree. She is able to return fire along with Officer Goodenberry.
Suspect's down. I'm holding at lethal.
Between the fire from these two officers, Eric Davis was rendered no longer a threat. He was deceased there at the scene.
Mr. Davis did everything he could do to kill these officers. They responded to a call for help, as they do routinely on a daily basis. And, again, I have to insert here, we, police officers, sheriff's deputies, first responders, we run toward gunfire.
What teamwork, what determination. All three of the wounded officers were rushed to the University of Rochester Medical Center in police cars and were immediately treated for their wounds by the amazing medical team there. I am happy to say all three of the wounded Rochester officers are making great progress and will hopefully be back on active duty sooner rather than later. Please welcome from the Rochester, New York PD, Officers Nicole Amator, Jake Goodenberry, Christopher Shingleton, and Jalen Taylor.
So we couldn't do the video thing because our shooting was a little recent and we're not completely done recovering yet. We were told we have a speech to do today, so here we go. Getting shot sucks. Make sure the other guy gets it worse. Chris and Jalon were put in a horrible situation. There was nothing there. It was a bad corner. I pulled up and I didn't even know that police were shot at, so I had no idea this dude even had something to do with it. Something in me told me to stop him and see what he knew because he's walking around in a snowstorm. I told Nicole to wait, and she trusted her gut and ended up following me, so everything worked out okay. We're still here to talk about it, and he's not, so. That was the fastest we ever made it into an emergency room, so that was cool. So with that, I'm sure all you guys have some experience with this, but when something happens like that, every cop showed up, everyone's family showed up, our friends showed up, the unions, everyone was there, and we couldn't have made it through all this with that. We still got some recovering to do, but we'll get there. So thank you, NAPO, and everyone else involved. It really is supportive, and we appreciate it.
won't make this too long because the bar is still cash right now. But I just want to thank this organization. This thing has been really great. I want to thank my brothers that I work with for being here today. Hearing shots fired on the radio is one of the worst things you can hear. And I also want to thank the editors of this video for not putting in me screaming like a maniac before then. I look a lot cooler than it actually was. But yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here. And if you've ever been to the city of Rochester, there's not as much nature there, not as many trees. So what I'm most thankful for is that giant tree I was able to take cover for. So.
I'll be very brief. We know we got a lot of people that's trying to speak. So I just want to say thank you for NAPO for putting this all together, being able to recognize us. Thank you for the Rochester Police Department for all the support that happened after the incident. Thank you for everybody that come out. Being a newer officer, just seeing all these people that we have that support us. And in a climate where we get a lot of negative attention and hate, the support right here, this blue line is what's needed. It's unfortunate. It was an unfortunate situation that put us into this, but we're all here and we're thankful to the Most High for saving us that night. So thank you.
Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody being here. Bigger shout out to my family for being there the most. I was in the hospital for close to a month, recovering from injuries, and in a place that I used to work at. I used to work at the hospital. And I just want to thank all of the medical staff at Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester for their amazing care. You know, the incident looked as bad as it was. The camera fell off right away. And I was able to withdraw and get on the air. And thank God for other responding officers to find this person. Thank you, Locust Club. Thank you, Rochester Police Department, for everything. And thank you all.
There's an old expression that often applies to repeat offenders. He's a two-time loser. But when it comes to this ex-con, Joshua Coffey, you can multiply that number by 4. From 2015 to 2025, Coffey was in and out of jail in St. Joseph's County, Indiana, more than 8 times, charged with numerous crimes from burglary to resisting arrest to multiple traffic misdemeanors. On June 30th, 2025, Coffey found himself just across the state border in Niles Township, Michigan. He was with a woman and was walking towards his car when he crossed paths with 23-year-old Deputy Cal Landon from the Berrien County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Landon grew up in Niles Township and had been with the Sheriff's Office for roughly 2 years. Deputy Landon would often see the same familiar faces on his route each shift, but Coffey wasn't one of them. All he wanted from Coffey was an explanation as to why he was parked illegally. What he got instead would test him in a way he might not have expected, but would be well trained for.
The reason why I noticed that car specifically is because it was out of place. I mean, I've driven down that road hundreds of times and don't really ever see vehicles sitting there. And then I also noticed the 2 individuals walking around out and about around the property, so technically they were trespassing on private property.
Lean 1413. Can you run an Indiana commemorative for me?
It's pretty standard for us to kind of just run the plate on the vehicle that we're dealing with or that's kind of involved in an incident, just to kind of get an idea of who we're talking to, because possibly running that plate could give me the registered owner, and that registered owner could be a felony suspect. Started talking to him a little bit, and just kind of the behavior right off the bat was kind of odd. When I initially asked him where his ID was, he was it's like trying to think of something. You could tell like what to say and try to get out of it.
You got ID on you?
No.
No?
Yeah, maybe in the car.
Yeah, do you mind getting it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Went over to the car and then started running.
Really?
He had a pretty good lead on me. I like to think I was gaining on him. While I'm running, I did pull out my taser because I was giving verbal commands of saying, hey, you're going to get tased.
South.
And then at the same time, I'm switching back over to my channel.
You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Get on the
Yeah, so I was only about 10 feet away from him when we had stopped.
No! Get the on the ground! Hey, shots fired, South 3rd Street!
He shot a couple times at me before I had actually gotten a shot off. I dropped my taser, pulled out my duty gun, and returned fire. After initially returning fire, I do fall backwards. They kind of teach us to kind of get off the X, so that's what I like to say I did, but in retrospect, I mean, I dove backwards while also returning fire at him. And then when I got back up, I noticed that my gun had jammed. I fixed it, then I put off one more round. And then after that, I seen him kind of drop and go still. So I knew the threat was pretty much over. Being that close, it's definitely good to get hit the target center mass. It's the best way to stop the threat. We don't shoot to kill, we shoot to stop the threat. It's an intense situation, the large adrenaline dump that you're going to have after some incident like that. Seeing back up, I definitely was able to calm myself a little bit better.
He pulled a gun on me. He shot it towards me.
Okay, go sit over there. Go sit over there.
She did the right thing, 100%. Told me to go sit down. After watching the video myself afterwards and kind of just going over the incident again and again and over my head, I'm like, okay, I did everything I was supposed to, did everything I was trained to.
Deputy Lannon's ability to quickly transition from his taser to his firearm allowed him to neutralize the threat of his life and others. It is only by God's grace that Deputy Lannon was not shot. His actions reflect both personal courage and the quality of our training.
Well, this job's pretty intense, but I mean, I love every day of my job.
Deputy Sabrina Larada confirmed Coffey had been killed and that his finger was still on the trigger of his gun. Who knows how many more people Coffey might have gone after that day, or any other day for that matter, had it not been for the bravery of our next top cop. From the Berrien County Sheriff's Office, please welcome Sheriff's Deputy Cal Landon.
First off, I'd like to thank my department just for providing the training and stuff so that I would be ready for something as horrible as that. No one really wants to go through that. I also want to thank NAPO for putting this whole thing together and just getting all of us cops out here just so we can all get together and have one good night. I would really like to thank my family for helping me through that kind of traumatic event and being there with me. And congratulations to everybody before me and after me. So.
I am thrilled to introduce our next presenter. He was a co-star of mine for more than 250 episodes of Blue Bloods, and he has been a true blue supporter of NAPO's for years. He's a Tony Award-winning actor who also showed his talents in the Oscar-winning Best Picture, the blockbuster Oppenheimer. Please give it up for the man who made New York's Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, Garrett Moore, so memorable, my friend, Gregory Jabara.
So our last honoree mentioned thanking the opportunity to have one good night, and it brought something to mind. I live in Los Angeles, and I was just placed on jury duty for the first time in 30 years. Normally, I'm sent off to the bailiff room to hang out and sign autographs and tell stories. I never get placed. This particular case was a double homicide, firing at a moving vehicle with occupied drug possession with a weapon. It was a big, big event that happened on our highways in Los Angeles. And I realized I had no idea it was going on. And and I think to myself, I'm in my house and I'm safe and my kids are safe, and you hear sirens in the distance, and I realized I take things for granted. I take for granted that tonight we're giving you one good night, but I've had a lifetime of safety, and it's because you guys are out there dealing with the stuff that I never have to. So the opportunity to be here and say thank you is a great privilege and honor. I can't tell you how humbled and proud I am to be here tonight, this room full of heroes, and to talk about your next two cases. They each deal with two brave Chicago cops going above and beyond the call of duty. However, since neither case has been completely adjudicated, you won't be hearing these officers explain what went down. Rather, I'll be giving you the nuts and bolts before they come up on stage. Our first Chicago case takes place on the city's west side and involves the department's elite 2563 tactical team. This team of 10 officers are as much proactive as they are reactive when it comes to the job. Whether it's going after suspected gang members, making drug buys, doing a high-risk weapon seizure, or helping out the U.S. Marshals on difficult arrests. Andrew Polaskis and Oscar Asiles are relative newcomers both to the team and the force, having each started in 2022. But since then, they've both made multiple arrests and have each learned that the only predictable element of their job is its unpredictability. On May 29, 2025, the 2563 tactical team was out in force when officers Polaskis and Asiles came across this man, Nathaniel Farron, who seemed to be exhibiting actions indicative of a narcotics transaction. Body cameras from multiple officers captured what happened next. I need to warn you that the footage is graphic, but shows in full transparency the risks associated with being on this elite team.
Stop, police! Stop right there! Stop! Don't reach! Do not reach! Give me your hand! Stop reaching! Hey, bro, I got shot. Give me your hands! I got shot in my head, bro. Your hands! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Hands, man! Stop!
Nathaniel Farron was able to get to his weapon and get off a single shot, striking Officer Polaskis in the upper thigh. That's when Officer Asiles took decisive action and ended the threat, protecting himself and the other officers by shooting Farron multiple times.
Shots fired! 10-1! 10-1! Shots fired! 256 ready. Shots fired at the police, by the police. Send ambulance.
One offender shot is down. We're trying to render aid.
Hey, offender's here. I got a gun right here. Hey, I shot. Okay, bro. He got Andrew. I had to shoot him. Tourniquet.
A tourniquet was applied to Officer Polaskis' thigh. And as he was carried to the nearest police vehicle, Officer Asiles, who had come to his partner's defense just minutes earlier, remained at the scene.
Crime scene tape. We gotta mark this off, guys.
Chicago police would get Officer Polaskis to the hospital in record time.
I got the officer that takes the back seat. We're going southeast on Grand. Give me the route, squad.
Officer Polaskis made a truly amazing recovery. That's him in the gray sweatshirt, just one day after being shot in the thigh, on his feet and in great spirits as he shakes hands with his fellow officers lined up outside of the hospital. Please welcome to the stage your next top cops from the Chicago PD, Officers Oscar Asiles and Andrew Polaskis.
All right, so I'm going to keep this brief. I was not prepared for a speech, but I did prepare for one. So thank you for this award. I accept it with humility and deep respect for everyone who wears the badge and serves their communities every day. No officer ever hopes to face a situation where deadly force becomes necessary. That moment was difficult, fast-moving, and something that stays with you long after the incident ends. I'm grateful to be here today, and I'm grateful for the training, support, and professionalism of the officer beside me. This recognition is not just about me. It belongs to my fellow officers, the dispatchers, supervisors, first responders, and my family who stood behind me throughout it all. Most importantly, it's a reminder of the responsibility we carry every time we put on this uniform. I will continue striving to serve with integrity, courage, and compassion. Thank you all for your trust and your support.
We're here at NAPO Top Cops, where you have two more of our top cops here with us, Andrew and Oscar from Chicago PD. You guys went through a critical incident. That critical incident is still pending in court, so we're not going to go into any details about what happened. But tell us a little bit about what it means to be recognized as top cops for the actions you took, and maybe a little bit about the peer support you've gotten from your coworkers.
First of all, it's a tremendous honor to be nominated amongst some phenomenal police officers, and being able to read their stories and see and read and talk to a few of them about what they've gone through and hear from them firsthand is truly humbling, and truly honored to be able to be included in the same ceremony as these other officers from around the country.
Yeah, like my teammate said, it is an honor. Very, very humbling. Reading all the other stories, it really opened my eyes, and I'm truly appreciative of all the support that I've gotten since the incident up until now. I'm still getting support from my friends, family, and teammates.
Yeah, it's great to hear how humbled you guys feel, because that seems to be an ongoing theme tonight. A lot of the cops who have taken heroic actions and are getting recognized as top cops, they feel like, well, I just did whatever my partner next to me would have done. I did what the sector car next to me would have done if they were in the same situation. So it's very, I don't know if it's rewarding, but it's very humbling for us to hear how everybody just kind of relies on each other and trusts each other to be able to do the same job that you guys did and fulfill.
Absolutely, very much so. And to see the outpouring support of, from when the incident kicked off to the crazy first few minutes, to see the amount of officers that responded when they heard the radio call come out of what was going on. Other sector cars, patrol cars, specialized units, detectives, bosses that even were at home and then still, got their stuff, got ready, got dressed, and came out.
That's great.
It's truly amazing.
Yeah, that's right. In Suffolk County, we talk a lot about the importance of peer support and mental health and stopping the stigma around talking about going through the stressful situations that police officers go through. So to hear that even in Chicago and everywhere else in the country, our departments all feel the same way, and we are taking peer support very seriously. It's great to hear that this is a growing trend throughout the country.
Yeah, definitely. When the incident happened, I had a lot of support from the EAP, from peer support, and I'm truly, truly grateful for all those.
Yeah, guys.
That's awesome to hear. It really is awesome to hear. It's a brotherhood. I'm glad that guys reached out to you guys and make sure that you guys are doing well after. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you for everything you're doing, and congratulations on being top cops.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
All right, take care.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
The training every cop receives at their police academy is invaluable, but you all know succeeding in the academy is one thing. Doing it out on the mean streets, well, that's quite another. And in fact, I love the way our next top cop, Chicago Field Training Officer Timothy L. Bell, described the difference between the academy and the streets. Quote, "Everything is real out here. There's no computer-generated nothing." Late last year, FTO Bell was assigned PPO Juan Alba Chavez. Alba Chavez had always dreamed of being a cop. He just graduated from the academy, and this was his first rotation out on the streets. As the duo began their one-month journey together, PPO Alba Chavez was adhering to FTO Bell's 3 golden rules. 1, don't lie. 2, don't make anything up.
And 3, don't be afraid to ask me anything. Officers Bell and Alba Chavez responded to a domestic dispute. And while December 7th may still be remembered as a day that will live in infamy, for these 2 officers, it will now be forever a day that will live in bravery. In the early morning hours of December 7th, 2025, FTO Timothy Bell and PPO Juan Alba Chavez responded to a 911 call of a domestic disturbance on South Davil Street. This man, Darren Brewster, a felon with weapons charges, had come to a house to settle an argument, bringing with him his 15-year-old son. Once inside, Brewster brandished a gun and got into a violent fight with an 18-year-old man. Moments later, officers Bell and Alba Chavez arrived and tried to break it up. That's when Brewster fired his gun, striking the 18-year-old and Officer Alba Chavez. Luckily, the 18-year-old was not seriously wounded, and neither was Officer Alba Chavez, the bullet that struck him lodging in his vest. That's when FTO Bell took decisive action, shooting Brewster multiple times before Brewster could get off another shot.
I'm in here. Shot fired.
PPO Alba Chavez immediately withdrew his service weapon and went to his partner's aid, helping FTO Bell with the victims and making sure the threat was now over.
When a vest stops a bullet, it stops the bullet, but there's still damage. There's still a blunt force impact. If not for the vest, we might be planning a funeral here. His training in the academy definitely came through, and he stayed in the fight. He did not go and curl and hide after he got struck in the chest. He made sure that his partner was okay.
Darren Brewster would survive his injuries, but would be charged with attempted first-degree murder, home invasion with a firearm, and multiple other felonies. There were also 4 children inside the house from 8 months to 12 years old when Brewster broke in. And there could have been a mass casualty had not officers Bell and Alba Chavez risen to the occasion. After this incident, officers Bell and Alba Chavez were asked separately if they wanted to continue together for the rest of their FTO PPO training or go their separate ways. They each answered quickly and definitively. No way were they breaking up the band. Please welcome from the Chicago PD, Top Cops Officer Timothy L. Bell and Juan Alba Chavez.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for NAPO for recognizing us. Thanks to my partner for having my back always. It's, they don't say it, but it was a 6th shift on the street. So you can only imagine how much trust is between us at that point. I want to thank God first off. Anybody could have been there. This wasn't Chicago separated by beats. This wasn't our beat. We decided to go to this call knowing the seriousness of it. So you kind of ask yourself like why us? But then after talking with therapists and talking with fellow coworkers, we're like, why not us? We come to work every day, and this is what we decided to do. So thank you.
I wasn't planning on speaking today, but then again, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my vest. I just want to thank NAPO for even for considering us for this award, the Chicago Police Department for nominating us for this award, especially me being I'm still on probation. I'm still on probation. So the fact that I'm getting nominated and winning these awards means a lot. I want to thank the support staff from the police department, my parents, my siblings, but most importantly, my wife. She's my rock, and she helped me get through it, and I'm glad to still be here. And most importantly, also my FTO Bell for trusting me that day. I gained a brother that night. So thank you very much.
Tim Bell, Juan Chavez, thank you for coming on the show today. 2 more of NAPO's top cops for the heroic actions you guys took under stress and under the pressure that a lot of cops train to kind of be prepared for, but you never know how you're really going to react when you're really in that sort of situation. Yeah. So, thanks for coming on the show, guys. And Tim, you're an FTO in this situation for the call that you guys are getting honored for. Juan, you were brand new out of the academy, learning from Tim, right? So tell us a little bit about what it was like, walking up to the school and getting involved in, this incident.
Well, this is one of those jobs you never want to have to go through. But you get a call, you go. You get a call of somebody calling for help, and it gets upgraded to a call of shots fired. Then we're pulling up, and now it's talking about somebody shot. We start talking to one of the victims, and she's saying that maybe somebody's in there shooting, or still shooting, or somebody shot. I couldn't really, you start hearing those words, you kind of start locking in. You start like, okay, all right, it's go time. You know what I mean? And we get in there. He's doing everything. We're going to be working together 6 days, so he's doing everything I told him to do since day one. And some people they're committed to whatever it is that they're doing. And then we ended up in that situation where I ended up having to use my service weapon. You know what I mean?
How's it different? Like, you're an FTO, obviously, and you're with your PBA over here. How's it different, the way you handle it in this situation compared to how you would have handled it without him there, without a PBO, with actual like another officer with you?
Not really, nothing different. When you get to those type of calls, it's like I said, it's go time. It's time to be the police. It's time to make sure that everybody's safe and that everybody can get out of this situation safe and potentially save a life. You know, let bullets don't have a name on them.
Yep.
That anybody can get hit, and it's extremely stressful doing it by yourself. Having a partner is just a little bit of assurance that highly likely you go home today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you obviously trust them. Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, this it's funny. The first day, he shook the shit out of my hand. I was like, good sign. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, he must be a little nervous. And then we get to the car. I think he's trying to put his stuff in the back, or something happened where dropped his flashlight. I was like, hey, are you nervous? He's like, not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous. I said, look, man, calm down.
I appreciate that honesty too.
Yeah, definitely. First day, you want me to be as completely honest as possible. I have 3 rules, man. Just always tell the truth. Somebody tells you a story, don't make anything up. You don't have to add to the story. Just put in the report what they said. Make sure that everything is clear and concise. And if you need help, just ask. If you got any questions, just ask. I'm not your daddy. Thank you, mama. I'm in charge of you, quotations, but you're the teacher. Partner.
But talk about how he's nervous, and now, like, how do you feel going up to that call? You're a brand new police officer. What, 6 days with you?
Yeah,
6 shifts.
My 6 shifts out of the academy. Obviously, I took my training seriously in the academy. I know it sounds cliche, but like, you have to, because you never know. Like you mentioned earlier, police don't have names. You never know what kind of call you're gonna respond to. You never know when, part of my language, but when shit's gonna hit the fan. Right. But I felt pretty confident with Bell as my FTO. I didn't see him as just an FTO, but also as a partner that day. Obviously, stuff happened. Ended up being shot, but sure, my safety was on my mind, but I had to make sure that my partner was okay as well. Because at the end of the day, we're both responsible for one another's safety and make sure that we're both going home. And for some reason, we were the ones for that call. God put us there for a reason. Who knows if someone else may have lost their life that day, but for some reason it was us, and there's no other person I would have shared that moment with. As unfortunate as it sounds, as the situation was, I had my full confidence in Bell taking care of each other.
That's great to hear. So it's so important that when you work with a partner, you have confidence in them, trusting them, and you can rely on them to do what's right and take life-saving measures, right? I mean, when shit hit the fan and it came time, it was go time. You didn't hesitate to do what you had to do and stop the threat and do whatever action you had to do to help save his life as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we had a call 3 days before that where the biggest thing with newer police officers is it's not just Chicago, but around the U.S. is you get the cameras in your face, you get people talking you crazy, they feel like they can, yeah they can, but we want everybody to be respectful. But the biggest issue is officers putting their hands on people, is knowing when to, when not to, and not being afraid to. And a big issue we've been having is POs having the issue of knowing like, okay, I need to put my hands on somebody. And we had a situation where I told her, hey, look, you see me grabbing somebody, you better grab somebody too, because if I get hurt, not only am I gonna be pissed at you, my wife's gonna be pissed at you, my family's gonna be pissed at you, you know what I mean? And vice versa. And we ended up having to grab a guy, and on the hole right next to me is my guy grabbing somebody. So I knew going into that call, full confidence, even though we only worked 6 shifts together, that he had my back.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and that's so important, because once cops start to hesitate to take action when it is necessary, that's when more and more people are going to be getting hurt out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, when you get trained to handle a situation, be confident in your training, be confident in what you're doing. As long as you're doing what you feel in your heart is right, there's always a way to justify your actions and go out there and do what we got to do. Lock up bad guys and save lives. Right? So, guys, thank you for coming on today. We appreciate everything you do. Congratulations on being top cops this year. Well deserved. Well deserved. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Lauren Timpano, Sergeant from Suffolk County Police Department, our hometown. Thank you for joining us here tonight at NAPO's Top Cops, and congratulations on getting nominated for being a top cop.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So, you went through a very stressful situation. You got involved in a shooting on the job, and, people's lives were at stake, and you took immediate action. So, after you took immediate action and saved lives, because there's other cops on the scene too whose lives were in danger, what was the aftermath like? Like, what was it like with the peer support behind you?
I think it's really important to know that a lot of people manage stress in so many different ways. So it was nice that I had so many different people reaching out, but also in different ways. So they said, hey, when you need help, reach out to us. And I had that constantly, and it was from every level. So I had people really high up in the department from people that I worked with every day. And then the other nice thing was that I wasn't rushed back. I got to take my time. I had family and friends that I relied on a lot. I spent a lot of time just understanding the situation. I guess that's the best way, because it's hard to accept what happened, but using my training and what I've been taught, I think it was the way it had to play out in the situation.
How valuable was that time? Not every department really gets time off, and they're not as lenient. Some departments not as giving and like the Suffolk County Police Department, but
it was big for me. I think just, like I said, spending time with people, but then also I was almost nervous to go back and have that firearm back on me. So what I did was I was able to go back to the range, and I was able to just shoot and make sure that I was still comfortable with that skill. And I actually had people there that took their entire day just spending with me.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So I had never heard that part of the story before, and how, after having to be involved in a shooting situation and having, that anxiety, that inner nervousness about going back to work and possibly having to handle a firearm again, I didn't realize that they brought you back out to the range to kind of break through that shell again.
I asked, actually.
That's great.
Yeah, they were super into it, and it was actually the best I've ever shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
I was like, all right, I can carry the firearm again. I just felt more comfortable.
That's great. So, as a younger supervisor on this job too, and being involved in a situation like that, what thoughts are going through your head now? Because not only are we're all cops at heart, and you're just involved in this, but you're also the supervisor on scene.
Yeah, that was a tough one too, because now you're also trying to take care of those people that were just involved in the incident with you, but you're also going through it yourself. So you don't really know the right answer of how to handle it, but they ended up being a good support group for me. We all had each other, so whenever we wanted to talk, we would call each other, the 2 other officers and myself. So it was kind of nice to actually have them. And even though there is a supervisor level versus a cop level, I still felt like we were just all friends at the end of the day. So taking care of each other.
I think that's great to hear how you viewed it as we're all just friends, we're all a family that's just looking out for each other in the end. I think that's very refreshing for all police officers out there to hear coming from the eyes of a supervisor.
Yeah.
Right. So a fun fact about Lauren, and now she's getting nervous, but she actually sings the national anthem at all the Suffolk County police events.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have quite the voice. You've done a great job at all the police events in the past. What's it like being that face and that sound behind the microphone all the time?
Still a lot of pressure. I think the worst part is singing with your peers and you're like, my friends are going to hear me. You know, you hear like, you sing in front of everybody else and you're like, whatever. But then your friends are there and you're like, they're the toughest critics. I think. So it's a little tricky, but it's good. I do enjoy it.
Yeah. How do you get into that? How do you start singing for the department?
My father forced me. He said, if they ever ask you, say yes. And I go, no, 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 no. And then the academy, they were like, who sings the national anthem? And I was like, I do. And 8.5 years later, I've been singing it pretty much every year since.
That was good advice from your dad. He does a great job.
It's not. I meet a lot of people. I go to really cool events. I've seen you guys and gone to dinners and a lot of experiences that I wouldn't have had.
Right.
So
it's a cool opportunity.
It is. I will say. I do
Yeah.
enjoy it. Yeah.
So my advice to cops whenever they graduate the academy is embrace the culture of the job and really get to feel that friendship and family with everybody. And being able to fill a role like that,
Yeah.
that's a great example of embracing the culture. So thank you.
No, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Lauren, congratulations on being nominated. Well deserved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So we began this evening with the amazing story of the 3 cops from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Oh, Vegas, stop it. And as they say in Sin City, I'm going to double down that you're also going to be in awe of our final 3 cops of the night, also from LVMPD. Their case began May 18th, 2025, when a concerned older man had called 911. He feared that his son, who had had a history of drug issues, was paranoid and thought that someone was out to kill him. He was armed and was inside an apartment with his significant other and 2 children. Officers Marcos Fitzpatrick, Travis Nudie, and Jimmy Sarkisian. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Jimmy. We got to find a way to get your name better. Jimmy Sarkisian Sarnani. Did I get it right? All right, Jimmy, come on, make some noise if you're out there. They responded to the call with their powerful words and equally powerful body camera video, put us in a moment of time where their bravery and especially their empathy is on display in an unforgettable way.
1:45, I'm arriving in the area. Kind of rolled through the apartment complex, trying to see if I saw anybody because it looked completely dead from the outside. Approximately like 3-4 minutes later, my partner Marcos shows up, and maybe a minute and a half after that, our 3rd unit, Jimmy, he shows up too.
Nothing seemed suspicious at all once, we arrived at the door. So that's when I started knocking on the doors saying, police department.
Police department, open the door. And then we start hearing a woman screaming inside.
You guys can see control room for you. We're screaming inside. I hear a woman scream like bloody murder.
And then we hear 2 shots fired. Marcos attempts to kick the door. Doesn't budge. I attempted multiple times to try and kick that door. I was desperate to get in there to attempt to save lives.
Get a ram!
And then I had to run back downstairs and get my ram. I had all the tools in my tactical vehicle.
Once Jimmy comes up with the ram, I ordered him to ram the door down.
It took me 2 strikes, and then the door opened up.
I realized whoever's in this apartment needs me right now.
So the moment I rammed the door open and I see the suspect standing inside the bedroom, He doesn't point the firearm at me. We just look at each other for 1 to 2 seconds. He goes back in the master bedroom and we hear a gunshot.
Police department!
We can hear a baby crying from what seems like the same room the shots have fired off.
Say something, it's gonna be on your right.
Which was extremely, it was intense.
So I went in the room with Marcos.
Get the female.
I saw the female and I saw the male on the floor. Then I saw the baby on the bed.
Let's get her out of here. I'm getting the baby. Get the baby out of here.
We figured out that his mom had been shot and his dad had shot himself.
I decided to go take the baby out of the room.
I saw another toddler. He was 5, 6 years old.
Come here.
He was shaking in his room, and I was just like, "Hey, buddy, like, I need you to come out here. I need you to come out here." I have a very soft spot for kids. I couldn't imagine really what the little kid was going through, but I just wanted to be that comfort for him.
I saw him in tears. I was trying to get him out of the residence.
We're gonna go outside.
I just want him to feel better.
I vividly remember the sound she was making, like that gurgling for air. You know, she's choking on blood. You know, just a horrific sounds and sight to see.
Stay with me.
I go back and I'm attempting to help Marcos. I can't see the floor. It's all red. It's like a pool of blood. We had no idea where she was shot. As we start taking off her clothes, like, we see 2 holes in her upper chest. We can hear her breathing. We can hear her moaning. You could see her fighting for her life in her eyes, you know?
Stay with me. You're doing great. You're doing great. Stay with me.
Because I knew she didn't have that long. LVMPD trains on how to apply, you know, combat medicine, like chest seals.
We then turn her over and we can see exit wounds as well. So luckily we had enough chest seals to bandage all of them. Shortly after, that's when medical arrives and we assist them in getting her out of the apartment.
Walking away from that scene, my biggest thought was, please make it, you know, please make it. You know, don't leave these 2 kids behind. I want you to make it.
The moment I leave the apartment, that's when the grandpa was there. He was still concerned for his son.
And then a bunch of families showed up and they were asking if they can go inside the apartment, grab diapers, and toys, and milk for the child. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that due to the crime scene. So I left and I went to the nearest Walgreens and I got diapers, wipes, and I got toys for the kids. And just because that trauma they went through, you know, it just broke my heart, especially me being a father of 2 young girls.
Yeah, you sign up with the idea, like, yeah, I can save a life. But the feeling of actually doing it is completely indescribable. She recovered within a few days. So from being shot twice in the chest, she is a very strong woman.
Y'all, please make no mistake that our Lord Jesus Christ had his hand in that, y'all. Can you please just give a round of applause to the men and women? After the woman made a full recovery, the trauma center she was sent to, UMC, did something quite unusual. They arranged for the woman and her kids to meet the 3 brave officers who came to the hospital bearing smiles and gifts. It was such an emotional moment for all of those involved, and we, right now, just please ask you all to welcome from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department 3 officers who truly went above and beyond their call of duty that night. Top Cops Marcos Fitzpatrick, Travis Nooney, and Jimmy Sarkisian Sarnani. Y'all, come on.
Good evening. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm truly humbled to be even mentioned with these great women, men and women across the nation. So please, let's give a round of applause for all the Top Cop Award winners tonight. Let's give a round. keep that applause going for every uniformed officer working tonight, who's got to work tomorrow night. Because I know, like my award winner said earlier, yeah, we get this one night, but we have to go back out there and keep doing this job, and I love this job. A couple thank yous I want to get out the way. First off, thank you, Sheriff Kevin McMahill. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but in his place is Assistant Sheriff Peterson, Captain Finnis, and Lieutenant Knight. Thank you guys for being out here. I also got to do a big shout out to the LVPPA. Thank you, Steve Gramis. I appreciate you coming out and helping us through this process. It's surreal. I don't feel like a hero. I feel like just a person who cares. And the award is nice, but at the end of the day, I'm so happy that she made a full recovery and she knows she's with her kids now. So thank you guys. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad. He's my true hero, retired Metro cop for 25 years. Thank you. I'd like to thank my wife. She's been getting me through this process, and thank you guys. God bless and have a great night, okay? Thank you.
So we're excited to have Marcos and Travis here from the Las Vegas Police Department. 2 more of NAPO's top cops this year for actions you took during a very hectic domestic situation.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the call as you're arriving and, some of what's been happening since then.
So first off, thank you guys for having us on here. It's so cool to be talking to you, but I remember that night we arrived and, the call came in as in Spanish and they were trying to translate, so I was confused. I asked him, so
We didn't really know what we were getting into at all.
yeah, it was kind of a surprise. And then we saying that, someone might kill him. We're walking around the apartment. We don't see anybody. So we figured, let's go talk to him and see what's going on.
Right. And then when you eventually try to go to the door, you have trouble making entry at first too, right?
Yeah. So I knocked on the door and then I heard people inside. So I kept knocking like, hey, then it came into like an argument. And then all of a sudden she's screaming like, what the F are you doing? Get off me. And then she's screaming bloody murder. And then I was like, okay, we got our sent you to enter. We're going to enter. And then just right after that, 2 gunshots go off. And
He gives it a few kicks. They didn't show it on the video, but I gave it like 7 or 8 kicks and actually fell over on the last one.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that didn't make the cut. But if they give you guys access to it, you're free to look at it.
We've been hit by day ever since. So.
Just kicking the doors, So it's funny that we can laugh about this now because we know what the end result is, right? So this is one of those calls where it could very easily go backwards, sideways, whatever way you want to call it, right? So when you make entry and you start finding children laying around the house and a mother with gunshot wounds, what's going through your head? What's happening? What are you thinking?
Honestly, it wasn't even a thought for me. At least it was just more of like react because I see a bunch of blood on the floor, I hear babies crying everywhere. I just like, we need to start figuring something out quick because when I hear her screaming, I don't see her moving. So I was like, we need to do something quick. And then thankfully Travis and Jimmy, he's not here today, but he went out, they took the kids out and we started working the funeral.
Yeah, for me, like, I saw the kid, I coaxed him out of his room. For me, my priority was shielding his eyes from possibly looking in the room, seeing what had unfolded, seeing his own father on the ground bleeding. Like, that's traumatizing. That's not something you want to live through as a kid. So I did my best to block his vision, block his view from that.
It's gonna be difficult to deal with. I mean, I don't know if you guys have kids or whatnot, but in a situation like that, the mother's down, she's been shot. The father committed suicide, right?
Correct.
That's all going on. Now you got young kids. You're not talking about like teenagers or anything. I mean, for them, it's traumatic.
Absolutely.
For young kids, it's gotta be rough.
Yeah, no, it's tragic, especially I have 2 daughters of my own. And then, we're getting them outside and then we're loading her up to the hospital. And the family's coming up to me, hey, can we go inside and get diapers and wipes because the baby, went on the tube? And I'm, well, I'm sorry, it's a crime scene. I can't let you in, unfortunately. I can't even go there. So then I was like, you know what? Because my kids were still young at the time. I was like, I felt bad, so I went down to Walgreens and picked up things for them and, helped them out.
A couple things. You got some diapers. I heard you even got toys, right?
I got some toys. Yeah, I got some toys.
I really thought, like, honestly, in a situation like that, most people would have the blinders on, just been like, not even done what you done. But you went above and beyond. Like, that's really going above and beyond. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I mean, shout out to our sheriff, injecting humanity into policing. That's what I entail. Like, I really want to
I like that.
show the human side of this badge because it's not, yes, it's a job, but it's a career. It's very rewarding. I want to let people know that I'm very grateful to be where I'm at today. So
I like to reflect that by giving back to the community.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point to bring up, the humanity side of policing, because a lot of people just see us as, you know, the uniform as like a local soldier out there, right? They don't see us as men and women that are part of the communities, because most of us, not only are we police officers, but we're little league coaches, we're PTA members, we're volunteers in the community in many other ways. So we're the ones out there trying to make our communities better for our children in the future.
Absolutely. You know, it's just it was a very difficult scenario. Then about 3 weeks after, I found out that the suspect was my wife's second cousin.
Oh wow!
So you know, we didn't find out until my wife went to a fundraiser for his funeral. You know, we learned the details of how he died, and it was just, you know, it was a little more heartbreaking because, believe it or not, Las Vegas is the smallest town you've ever been in. Yeah, everybody knows everybody. So it's just one of those towns that's really brought into perspective, like, yeah, my whole family's in the community. I could have a chance to go see him like that. Hopefully not, but there's a chance.
So we both started our careers off in New York City, and we're both now Suffolk County police officers, and we live in Suffolk County. So we get to feel that pride in policing the neighborhoods we live in. We get to feel that, you know, pride in servicing where we actually live, not just a community 45 minutes to the west of us.
Right.
So there is a different feeling there. So I'm glad you brought up that pride and the small community there in Vegas.
Yes, it is. You know, love the Vegas community. You know, it's not, most people think it's not the Strip. I don't live in a hotel. No, there's actual houses out there. But I love this community, and I'm glad to serve it every day.
Well, you know, you guys did a great job. Well deserved the Top Cop Awards this year. You guys are heroes out there, and just continue to do what you're doing. Keep that same mindset of wanting to just make the communities better, and, you know, be safe and have great careers out there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Bill Johnson, thanks for coming on with us now. You know, you're the executive director of NAPO. Tell us a little bit about what that means. What is your role in NAPO?
I'm basically the day-to-day manager for, I have to say, so it is the largest trade association in the United States representing rank and file law enforcement officers. And it's everything from lobbying Capitol Hill. I'm also the general counsel, so we do Supreme Court briefs, amicus curiae briefs, different federal courts of appeal. We do the day-to-day stuff, trying to set up events like tonight, Top Cops Awards. Thank you for being here, by the way.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. This is an honor for you guys to be here and help get the word out. So thank you for doing that. We do different seminars, training events, conventions throughout the year. So it's a little mixed bag of everything. Most of the guy that, you know, carries the copy paper because everybody else is.
Right.
I work with like 5 women, so I get to carry the copy paper and fix the stuff around the office.
So we're excited to be here at the Top Cop Awards tonight, and this is a major operation. There's a lot happening all around us while we're here recording. You have a lot of members of the staff still trying to put things together. So how much work goes into preparing for tonight? Like, how many months of preparation have you guys doing?
There is. I mean, we when we're done with this, we solicited nominations probably started 9 months ago. This is our 33rd year doing it. And so we know a lot about it, but just like anything else, it really is. It's a sit down dinner for 800 people.
Right.
And so there's always going to be last minute stuff coming up. Even just now before I walked in the room, there's another thing about can someone switch tables, this and that, this type of thing. But it's a process of soliciting the nominations and going through them, in-house to ensure everybody's qualified. We're unique in the United States in that our awards program are completely peer driven. It's any officer, any agency, federal, state, local, county, tribal, military, we've had them all nominated by another officer. So it doesn't matter if your chief likes you, doesn't like you, doesn't matter if the sheriff likes you, doesn't like you. We don't care. If it's an outstanding case, you're eligible and you're welcome at our event. And we go through that, and then once we kind of figure out what we think is maybe the top case or top 2 cases from each state, it goes out of our house, so to speak, to an awards committee that's made up of representatives from different national groups around the country. And also what we do is to try to make sure that rank and file still has an active voice, is that the previous year's winners also have an opportunity to say, hey, to vote on the cases as well.
Oh, that's great.
So kind of fold that in as well. And then we pick the top 10 cases. The other nominees become honorable mentions. We find the top 10. And you'll see if you know it before we get like a statue. It's like an Oscar award for the Academy Awards, but it's a police officer, male or female statue on top of a nice marble base.
and to do about maybe a 5-minute video about the case for which they're receiving the awards, that the audience understands why they were nominated, why they're receiving the award itself. And then they have a lot of fun with some of the celebrity presenters. We have case, actors and actresses from different TV shows, Blue Bloods and so forth. People who've been in movies, portraying police officers and detectives and so forth. And they get as much of a kick out of it as the award recipients. And it's so funny because they get nervous talking to a real police officer.
Right,
They can be on stage in front of 100 people, right, or 1,000 people, and be on TV. They're okay. But then they have to start, they get kind of flustered sometimes. They're like, oh my gosh, you did this for real. I just do this, on stage. And it's similar too from, I think the overriding theme or the common thread through the award recipients is every one of them is like, man, I don't know why I got this award. I just responded to the call. It could have been anybody else.
Yeah.
It's the most humble group of people, heroes that you'll ever meet. And they're sincere, it's genuine, and I think a lot of them are just kind of overwhelmed a little bit that someone actually takes the time to say thank you.
Yeah,
And
so
it means a lot to me.
I picked up on that as well. A lot of the cops here that are honored as the top cops, they feel like, well, I just did what anybody else in this room would have done, right? So it is very humbling to see, and it's refreshing to see that everybody has the faith in the people they work with that they would have done the same thing too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's nice to be able to have that reliability and feel that sense of security around the people that you work with.
There is, and I think there's a universality to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't matter if, you can be from Des Moines, Iowa, or you could be from New York, New Jersey, you could be from New York City, you could be from Springfield, Illinois. There's the commonality of what police work is in the United States. And big cities, small cities, a lot of the same problems that crop up everywhere. And the same demands on the men and women who are out there. That sometimes you do have to step up and do the heroic thing at the risk of your own life and saving someone else. And I think it's nice. It's an honor from our end as an organization to be able to recognize those cases and to try to publicize that. And the overarching goal for Top Cops as a program is to get the word out that, I don't want to say average, but this is typical of who's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't do average things, but these are, in a way, the typical officer who just got thrown into extraordinary circumstances and responded and did the right thing. And it's nice to be able to honor them and show the public, because the public really knows. 95% of people out there are totally fine with the police, and you got a vocal 5% that's stirring up stuff and just constant this drumbeat of negativity. And it's nice to be able to put out something that's newsworthy. And thank you guys for being part of that.
Absolutely.
And help to get the word out about all the good things that the officers are doing every day. Because it's often not recognized because that's not news, right? Hey, the officer did the right thing. Oh, that's good. Tell me something unusual. But this is a good thing to be able to tell the good stories out.
Those videos are tremendous. I mean, we've been here a couple times. This is my fourth time being here, and I think they're always tremendous. Officers dealing with serious dangers out there in society, and people getting shot, they're getting back up, staying in the fight.
Yes.
That's a lot of stuff that the public never sees that really. They're, like you said previously, they see all the negativity, but there's so much positive. And like you said, most of these cops handle it so professionally, and they don't look for an award or anything like that. It's the opposite. They just feel like they're doing their job, what they're called to do.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, the 10 top cases tonight, several of the cases involve officers who were shot and kept in the fight, as you said. They didn't stop until they, brought down the assailant. And then, self-administered and their partners administered first aid, got them, to treat them as soon as they could. But they didn't, it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around that.
Right.
If they're shot, they know they're shot. And they're like, yeah, but I have a job to do first. And then when I'm done securing the scene, protecting the public, protecting my partner, now I'll turn to myself. I'm like, well, yeah, I need to get my tourniquet out, but I need help.
Right.
But I don't know how you do that. It's just
to add to that, I mean, we just had Jose Valenzuela in here from Boston, and when he shot somebody, you could see in the video from outside, everybody's just running away. They're running the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Where was he? He was confronting the situation, even though he was off duty.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know in that particular case, I think his wife was outside waiting for him.
Yeah.
In the car, and she's like, what's going on? So that's, I think it's important to recognize the families that are out there as well, the spouses, the kids, the parents, who worry day and night about what their loved ones are doing.
Yeah. So, Bill, thank you for having us at the Top Cops Awards tonight.
Thank you for being here.
We're very excited to be able to help highlight the heroic actions that these guys are taking throughout the country and get the messaging out that the cops are out there trying to do the right thing, trying to make America a better place.
Yeah.
And we want to take back those headlines and show the heroic actions that cops are taking instead of all the nonsense we've been seeing in the national media recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being a part of that. It's because it's absolutely right. You've got ordinary men and women doing extraordinary stuff and generally getting it right in those trying of circumstances. So we're just pleased to be able to help showcase that. Thank you for being part of that.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Before we go any further to my LA boys, my son was going to UCLA, which is right on the other side of the 405. And I had to drive down to evacuate with him. And the sky was just black red. You couldn't get out of the car for 30 seconds without your eyes burning. The most terrifying 10 days I can imagine. There was fire everywhere, so thank you. And maybe just to lighten it up, I'll try this. When we were up here earlier and I told you about the test, Mick turns to me and says, just cross your foot over your other leg. So I'm gonna try it. But now I gotta look at the foot. I'm not passing any test. What a truly inspiring group of top cops tonight. But now it's time to present one case with a Citizen Choice Award. I really want to stress this isn't a competition. All the officers honored tonight by NAPO are top cops, but NAPO's associate members, the citizens who support all the legislative and legal work NAPO does for you, carefully review the cases you've just seen, and vote to give one a Citizen Choice Award. And only one of these in 10 cases. And this year's winner will also receive, I'm going for it already. This year's winner will also receive not only this plaque, but this plaque, and a special edition Thin Blue Line watch. Tonight, the Citizen Choice Award goes to, drum roll. Thank you, I love it. The Rochester Police Department. Nicole Amator, Jake Goldenberry, Christopher Singleton, and Jalen Taylor.
Well, I'm up here again. Super thankful to win this. I completely forgot to thank my wonderful parents who are here and have always supported me throughout my law enforcement career, and my best friends, Kelly and Ari, as well. And I'd also like to thank Paul Dondorfer from our union who nominated us.
I guess since we're doing this again, I didn't want to do it the first time because I think at least one of them was crying. Derek, I want to thank my wife, who's over there. This was the first time that she watched the footage from the incident, so thank you to her for being there through everything. I want to thank everyone else from our department, all my friends that are here, and thank you, Derek. He was not working that night. He was out injured, but he's normally my partner, and he's been there through this whole thing. He was at our office with me when the call came in, and he's here with us supporting me still, so thank you, and thank you to everyone else. We appreciate it.
Thank you all again. I just want to give a little background. Jake and I are academy mates, and Jaylon was a rookie to my section. And Jaylon, each one of us had a role to get there to save the family's life inside. Jaylon got us there quick. I found the guy, initiated contact. Jake found the guy again, and Nicole ended it. And shout out to Nicole. Thank you.
had like a year on the job, so I definitely wasn't expecting this. But just want to say thank you to NAPO again just for this award. It's an honor to be mentioned amongst all these great men and women in blue. And despite what anybody say, this is truly a noble career, and I don't regret any of it, and I'm gonna continue to have the same love for this job. Thank you for Chris, Nicole, and Jake for having my back that night, all the other Rochester police officers that responded, and it's truly an honor. Thank you.
I want to thank all our presenters here tonight, our generous sponsors, and of course everyone at NAPO, including Mick McHale, Bill Johnson, Elizabeth Loranger, and NAPO's tireless staff. We got Cheryl, Susie, and Matt, the teleprompter wizard, in the back, and Greg Klein, who gives us our words, and our lovely trophy presenters, Kyra May Gessner, Allison Ryan Hospian, and her sister, Alexis Marie. Now please welcome from the LAPD retired police officer, Roz Curry, and in a moment, a top cop in training, Danny Coyne Jr., whose father is a corrections officer with the Las Vegas Metropolitan PD and treasurer of the Las Vegas Police Protective Association. That was that, yeah? All right, thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace had taught me safe thus far, and grace will lead